making sure that we're in the game. If you're going to try and play catch up against anyone, but let alone the Suns, you're going to be in a hard day. So, yeah, match them early in the start and then go from there.
As a coach, can you tell on a day like that when they just don't feel right before the game, or is it not until they get out there that you can see that, okay, something's off?
Yeah, no, it's not until they get out there and they're trying to execute what we're after.
Kingsley was pretty solid on the fact that Bedford will likely go to one of those midfielders. Can you give us an indication of why you want to do that and maybe who the thought process is?
Yeah, we'll hopefully not at the start, but if one of them do happen to get off the chain, then look, it's Raul Anderson will be the ones you look at. And it depends on the damage they're doing. So if our midfielders are doing as much damage as theirs, then you may just let it go. But like we mentioned, if they get on top at stoppage, then it might be we need to lock one down. So, yeah, probably expect that at some stage.
Were you part of the tour this week for your old teammate, Simon Goodwin, who came through?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. But, look, it's, first and foremost, unfortunate for Simon to, where it's fallen. But quality person, quality coach, and wherever he decides to end up, if he ends up anywhere, he'll be great for that club. So, yeah, hopefully it's us. Where do your coaching aspirations lie? Look, I've been doing this for a long time now, so I'm always keen to keep exploring, where it can take me. I've had senior opportunities at VFL level, which was awesome, and I'm enjoying this. And you just never know what happens though in this game. Last one, Ben. The beauty of your situation right now for the Giants is destiny's in your hands. You win 2 games, you are almost definitely assured of finals. Does it feel like a finals atmosphere? Because Finn Callahan said that during the week that they're treating this game as a final. Yeah, it certainly does. And you only have to get up here and see the weather as well. It's when the sun comes out, it's more closer to final. So it definitely is. And like you say, it's up to us now. We're not really relying on others, although they can help us still. But certainly if we win both games, it'll assure it. So normally we go pretty well in those situations, and hopefully we can today. Ben Hart, thanks for your time. No worries, thanks. Ben Hart there from the GWS Giants. Both teams are out there now. Carrara bathed in sunshine. It is a perfect day for footy, a finals-like atmosphere, and they're treating it like a final, as you heard Ben Hart say. Finn Callahan said that during the week. Whitey, Jamie, let's talk about the midfield battle. It's the highlight. It's the reason we watch footy. We've got Callahan and Green v. Rowell and Anderson. We're set for a treat today.
Yeah, we're set for an incredible treat, and it's like the next generation treat a little bit too, which is quite interesting at obviously expansion clubs. So, but they're the younger talent, the younger brigade. Obviously, we've heard of the Pendleburys and the Bontempellis, and so many of those really experienced mids have dominated the comp for so long. But Callahan, Anderson, Green, Rowell, they're the next generation of the 10 years. So these are the guys that we'll be watching back on the couch or doing what we're doing and in awe of for a very, very long time. So I think it's exciting for that. At the moment, based on statistics, Gold Coast are performing better in this area. I do think that's based on the fact that Jared Witts is performing better as the ruck when you compare him to Briggs across the ground and what he does in that zone. Gold Coast statistically win centre clearances, they win clearances around the ground, and they explode from there, where GWS normally like to get it from half-back and slingshot, like we talk about it with their Orange Tsunami. So if GWS can nullify the impact and the explosiveness that Gold Coast can have from the source, it will be extremely important for them to win this game today, and that will then therefore keep Bedford out of tagging, if that's what Hardy mentioned.
Well, the stats back it up. The last time they played wasn't that long ago, round 15. Anderson had 42 and 2 goals. Took Miller 37 and a couple of goals, and Rowell had 34. So, Whitey, Bedford, is he better suited to a Rowell or an Anderson, do you think?
I think more Anderson because of the damage he can do. We've seen what Rowell can do, but I think Anderson just has that more damaging in relation to putting his forwards in the right position with his kicking skills and his ability to hit the scoreboard. So, yeah, as Ben Hart said, I think you just got to see how the game unfolds, whether you roll that dice early, whether Bedford starts on the half-forward flank or starts on the wing and then goes in at after the centre bounce. There's a lot of different chess pieces they can play. But I was just looking at the stats from last time they played, and Witts went up against Madden. So Briggs didn't play. And Wittsy had 54 hit-outs, had 20 possessions, so had a really good game. But it was just the way he was able to get in, and as we've been speaking about, how he was able to dominate the clearances with his hits into space and into advantage for the mids. He won't have that today with Briggs. So it's a big effort from Briggs today. He's not as tall as Witsy, but he's strong, he's bulky, he gets in really early. He'll come across the line quite a bit. Witsy likes to jump, but I can see at the moment he's doing the warm-up where he's right on the line. So he's anticipating that Briggs, that's where he's going to start. So a lot of the hits will be front of where the rucks are. So it's going to be interesting. So I would like to see throughout the course of the game that Witts changes that up a little bit. I think he's going to have an advantage in height, Pricey. I'd like him to flick it in different spots. Don't be so predictable of where it's going to go. Try and hit it behind him and try and get that little flair that they can have, especially with him and Noah Anderson.
Yeah, the understanding of Witts and Anderson's going to be crucial in there. But I like how Whitey points it out. He loves watching the warm-ups with regards to the ruckman, and gave us the clue that Witsy's not only teaming up with his midfielders, but checking out the angle of the bounces of all the different umpires and whatnot. That's what they used to do. But
that's how they set it up, and you've got to prepare for what's coming. That's how. That's 101 for the Giants. That's how they love to do it, and that's where Briggs loves to start. He's never jumped into an opposition ruck. He's always started on that line, so that's what Witsy was practicing.
All right, well, we're 5 minutes away from bounce down here. Really exciting. A finals-like game, as you heard both the assistant coaches say and our experts. It's going to be huge. Giants with the winning record over the Suns, 15-5 since they first clashed, and since 2015, just once have GWS lost to the Suns. We are set for a classic here. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Bounce just around the corner.
Hello, Patrick Stack here. Do you like sport and good conversation? Then we've got a great podcast for you. One cracking story, in depth, every day, in under 15 minutes. It's called ABC Sport Daily, and you can find it on the ABC Listen app.
You're listening to the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
AFL. On ABC Radio.
On digital. And on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
The 21st edition of the Expansion Cup just a few minutes away. Final shaper is what this game is about. If the Suns win, they can lock themselves in for finals just about, and they can eye off a top 4 spot. If the Giants lose, then next week they are putting their hands in the fate of another team. So an enthralling clash. We're set to go here. Declan Byrne is my name. Michael Price alongside me here. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. I've got Jeff White and Jamie Stanton here. Let's get our final thoughts. Where do you think this game is going to be decided?
You don't want to go too far past the midfield, but I'm looking forward to the backline setup, and that's the Callum Brown, the Cadman versus Andrew and Collins. I think that's really going to shape the course of the game, especially the slingshot. If the Suns can get on the loose and their half-back lines can then control the game, be able to, have that slingshot footy off the half-back line, it'd be really hard for the Giants to actually counteract that. So, yeah, enthralling matchups. That's where I'm looking, is the forward line for the Giants. If they can put that pressure on, they can get those two big fellas can mark it in the air. I think they'll go a long way to winning the game, the Giants.
And I'm going to look at something slightly similar, but it's scores per inside 50 and the efficiency that both teams roll at will be, I think, where this game is won or lost. I think with coming into finals, it's extremely important to be putting goals on the board, and GWS without Jesse Hogan, who's generally very prolific and very dead-eye dick at the goals, and Gold Coast have been doing that recently and have been able to separate themselves between different teams when they've played, but they do and can too sometimes miss goals quite easily, and Ben King and Ben Long have in previous seasons been known to be a touch wayward. This season they've been doing a great job at it. So whichever team can be more efficient going inside 50 and putting those goals on the board and not just behinds, I think will be the difference maker today.
Yeah, and I think Stringer's a bigger loss for GWS than most people would think. He's that player, isn't he? He can just provide something a little different and a bit of strength up forward. So that might actually give the Gold Coast defence a little bit of an easier day. But look, I think it's pace of the game, as you alluded to earlier, Whitey. Like the Brisbane-Sydney game, it was just pinging from goal square to goal square. And I can see this happening in a similar vein. Perfect track, let's see what GWS can bring, because when they're slingshotting as well, they bring it as good as anybody.
I have a feeling it's a Toby Green day.
A Toby Green day? It's a 7-goal Toby Green day.
Well, I'm not going out on a limb and saying 7 goals, but I'm
an unabashed fan. I've got to say, I'm a Toby Green fan.
I think it's, when you've got a Stringer and Toby Green, the resume is not the same, but they're similar in, how they move up forward. Him out, I think, is a bit of a responsibility on the skipper today, and how important this game is. So I'm looking for a Toby Green, and that's where he needs to be really on his toes, the half forward line, to stop the slingshot footy of the Gold Coast Suns, but also to put some scoreboard pressure on.
He's had his first win of the day, Toby Green. He just won the toss, and the Giants are going to be kicking to the left as we're looking at it. That is the northern end or the scoreboard end, where they've just put the flag up just before the bounce. I'm saying Dimmer's got something to do with this. They used to always hoist the flag a good 20 minutes beforehand, which is at that scoreboard end, to show where the wind was going. They don't put it up until the warm-ups have finished, and that's the end that GWS were warming up at earlier on. I'm saying it's a conspiracy, people. That's what I'm saying.
No, but then all you look is that they've shot the fireworks out.
That's
where there's the smoke, see? It's like when you're playing golf and you're with the smoker. You just try and see where the smoke goes.
Flick the grass up, Matthew Lloyd style.
Where it's going. Yeah.
It is 22 degrees here at Carrara. The team's making their way out to the middle. Let's get a final prediction. Jamie, give us a score, give us a winner.
Gold Coast by, I think, about 22 points. I think they'll showcase a little bit of dominance. I think they're in some better form than GWS at the moment.
I'm going to go the Giants. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think this is more important to them than the Suns, because the Suns have still got that game up their sleeve. I'm going the Giants. I reckon they're fired up. Been watching the warm-up. Look out.
There you go.
Saturday Arvo footy here on ABC Sports. Set for a cracker. The two newest teams in the AFL duking it out for the 21st time. The Suns with everything to play for, and as you said, the Giants need 2 wins from their last 2 games to assure themselves a finals. So as the crowd makes its way in, Michael Price here on ABC Sport to take us away.
Umpire Curtis DuBois has got the ball in the middle of Carrara. I reckon it's the Goldie by a single goal. Nice bounce from umpire DuBois. It moves a little forward. He's going to call it back in the winds. There you go. So we'll do it all again with the ball thrown up in the centre.
Just puts more extra pressure on the bounce, doesn't it? Whether it's going to come or go.
And the ruckman just lined up across the line, just crossing it, comes off hands. Tom Green onto the left foot, kicks it to the arc of 50, and that was easily swallowed up there by Will Powell, almost uncontested. The crowd enjoyed that. So he looks forward, and the Giants are set up immediately very well. Powell long down the line, just beyond centre wing. Witts the target versus Briggs. The two ruckmen bring it down front and square. Rowell tackled into the ground beautifully by Callaghan. Picked up by Witts. No, the umpire said you took too long, Matt Rowell. Callaghan gets the free kick.
Early win for Finn Callaghan in that battle, so he's head-to-head with Rowell at the moment. Get a sight on Bedford in a minute, who's been spending time forward. Callaghan towards Riccardi, who gets in front of McAndrew. The umpire pays the free kick. Across the shoulder, McAndrew, an early win in that battle. Andrew looks to his left. No options he likes, so it'll be back down this broadcast wing. Iden, a bit of a wrestle with Long. Gets the spoil, but it's Suns at the front. Davies to Witts. Witts inside 50. King advanced, overran it a little bit. It's inside 50 for the Suns. Taylor with possession for the Giants. Brilliant tackle. Fiorini on Lecalier. Ball spills free. Giants mop it up through Fonte. Fakes one way, goes the other to Lockie Ash, and he'll escape out the outside wing.
Good spoil there by Sam Collins. In fact, it was illegal. Chop of the arm, so it's going to be a free kick to Cadman. The youngster just forward of half back. He goes along the arc to find Lockie Ash. He's held up again. The Gold Coast have set up nicely in front of him. He wheels around to his left, Ash, and he's going to try and go to left half back. Callaghan's got away, takes it nicely, gets off, has a bounce, and delivers a lovely pass, lace out to Riccardi, who leads nicely as well. He wheels around onto the right foot. It's a long kick inside 50. Looking for Toby Green. He had numbers there. Bedford, he rove nicely. Handball Canelio in the left pocket, and he has a snap. Canelio, ripping shot. Good start for the Giants. They get the first goal with only a couple of minutes on the board. One straight to the Suns yet to score.
It's I love that they put Callaghan on the on the far right so he can swing around on his left foot. So that's how they create that switch. And beautiful delivery and great lead up there from Riccardi. He's another one that's very important for that forward line. But already I'm seeing that at the moment, Suns are going a zone behind the ball, whereas the Giants going one-on-one. So their starting points are going to be and that's why it's forced the Suns to kick down the line on 2 occasions.
And you get some juicy matchups with that, don't you, Whitey? So just then the ball comes inside 50 and you've got John Noble on Toby Green. If you're GWS, you're taking that every day of the week, and that's how the ball can spill to the front and their smalls get to work. So the zone can sometimes work really effectively, but it can also create some opportunities for the other team.
Giants on the board first. They'd prefer that to the last time these two teams played. The first 4 goals went the way of the Suns. Clearance to Davies. It's a handball, though, and Green for the Giants was best to read it. Shirks out a 1 tackle on his left. A leading Bedford marks in front of Noble on centre wing. 2 kicks from home. Tells Riccardi to head out to the right. Mac Andrew in front position. Riccardi was at the back and he spilt a mark. Followed up with a good tackle on Collins. The ball came loose and on his right foot, the grubber from next to the behind post just didn't have enough swing on it. Hits the right goal post. And it is 7-0 Giants lead.
Look sharp already, the Giants. Tom Green already 2 clearances out of the centre.
He's a strong boy. Just shrugging off Matt Rowell like that. That's 2 bulls going at it. So the Suns are, again, quite stagnant coming out of defensive 50. It's with Jeffrey. He gets it towards commentary wing. Witts and Briggs. Bringing it down was Long. Front and square there was Anderson. Did a beautiful turn. Has a bounce. Weaves his way through traffic. Handball to his mate Rao. Back into the corridor. By hand to Tuke Miller. From 55. His pass looking there for King. He overshot it. And easy pickings there for Sam Taylor. A double grabber at centre half back.
He should have taken grass then. He had plenty of space to go for goals.
Good one-on-one contest. Weller beating Ash, and they'll go back inside 50. The Giants had run forward, so some space for the Suns. Handball comes to Farah. Sells some candy, then put himself in a bit more trouble. The handball to Ainsworth missed him, so right forward pocket will have a ball in. We've played nearly 5 minutes. It's inside the Suns attacking 50. They're yet to score. It is 7-0.
So where was the left foot there? For Jai Farah. He just had a little bit of time. They closed that gap very quickly, the Giants' defence. Here's the throw in. Witts from the rear position slaps it forward. Anderson picks it up. Well, he gets tackled off it. Factor was Farah getting in there. Lockie Ash flicks it back to the goal square. Whitfield under enormous pressure takes it to the outer side. It gets to Fiorini versus Darcy Jones. Darcy Jones kept his feet. Nimble did beautifully, did Darcy Jones through traffic. The handball there put Bedford under pressure. Beautiful blind turn from Bedford. And he kept running, Darcy Jones. Got the handball received. It was a speculating handball back into the corridor. It was cut off by Noah Anderson for the Suns. Handball back to Collins through Powell and then Noble at half back.
They'll settle it down here with numbers. Back edge of the square. Anderson slipped over at the crucial time. Bedford, all he had to do was apply a safe legal tackle. Instead, he slipped as well and got Anderson high while he was on the ground. So free kick goes the way of the Suns. And Miller is the target for Anderson, who marks on the edge of the centre square. Broadcast side. Great low dart to Weller. They're targeting King. 3rd time lucky. No, another fist from the Giants' defence. Goes all the way outside 50. Suns have numbers. Euland's there. He gives hands to Fiorini. And then to Powell, who unloads from 60. This could go all the way over the top of a couple. And they're on the board. 7 plays 1. 6.5 minutes gone here at Carrara. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
So their defensive effort's very good, the Giants, so far. Ball in the goal square with Lockie Ash. He chips it barely the 15 to find Whitfield. He flares it out to right half back or just beyond it. And Toby Green presents nicely. Good kick too. Oh, Green went for the aggressive 45. It was cut off by Fiorini. He chips it inside 50. King gave it by hand to Long. He scrubs it. That's a shocking kick. Cut off there by Lockie Ash. He's tackled. He let go the ball. They got a chance to get out, the Giants. Lee Kalia, and that's a nice kick to find Harvey Thomas. He wants to play on by hand to Tom Green.
He does so. Green's in a bit of trouble up against the boundary line. The 1-on-1, Brown v Jeffrey, who arrived late with a fist. Goes out of bounds in front of the interchange bench.
Gold Coast really need to clean up their ball going inside 50 at the moment. Compared to GWS, it's chalk and cheese.
Ben King with 57 goals, his best in his career. The best ever is 66. Wonder if he'll get there and beat Tom Lynch's mark. Witts the tap down. Weller was slung to the ground. Got an effective handball away to Anderson, but his kick was a grubber. Harvey Thomas waiting for it. He was tackled as he kicked down the line. Cadman v Collins. Ball hits the deck. They both dive on it. Still up for grabs. It spills the defensive side, and Jeffrey was there, who looked back to Noble, ignored it. 1-2 with Anderson. Went to come inside. Ralston read him. Put the tackle on. Noble cleans up. Handball to Anderson, and they go up the line again.
Long kick. Here it comes. Oh, well done to Ethan Reid. Presented nicely. The young man took it outstretched. That's barely the 15. In fact, it's not at all. He hits Flanders. Flanders to right half forward. Misses everybody. The Giants read it well. It was tapped forward there. Well done there by Briggs. He ended up getting it back from Thomas by hand. Kicks it to the wing. Presenting well was Brown. He had two to beat and he did it easily. Did well, Brown. Got it to Canelio. He gets it into the corridor. Tom Green now presenting there. Riccardi hits him still inside the centre square. Long way from home. Kicks it to the goal square. It's a 2-on-1 and it's going to be a mark paid. Yes, indeed. It's going to go to the Giants. Go to Ralston. And I think it was... it was Noah Anderson who was complaining he was taking off the ball, but that will be a mark 20 metres out directly in front to the Giants.
That was well done by Callum Brown. He was one out against two Suns players, brought it to ground, and then were able to get that switcher play through the midfield. So they're on here, the Giants. They're up and about.
Harry Ralston only kicked the one goal in his career. Hasn't kicked one so far this year. Leans into it, drills it. Giants get their second, 2-1-13 to the Suns, one straight behind, and we've played 9 minutes 20 of the first term Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport.
I mentioned it in our pre-game around scores per inside 50 and the disposal going in. GWS are operating at 50% at the moment, 2 goals per 4 inside 50s. Gold Coast are operating at 0, or pretty close to 0%, with 7 inside 50s and 1 behind. And all because they've been absolute scrubbers of kicks going inside 50, and it looks like to be a bit of a plague. They're doing it all over the ground, but it's so important going inside 50 that you give your forwards absolutely no chance if you cannot deliver to advantage. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be to advantage.
Bedford's gone to the wing. He started a half forward, so I wonder if this is a ploy to get him onto Noah Anderson. Noah Anderson's had 6 already.
So Ralston celebrated his 21st birthday during the week, gets a goal. The clearance looks like it's going to go the way of the Giants. Canelio's pushed as he kicked it, so it didn't go to the intended target, but Fiorini missed it. Callum Brown mops up on his left down the line. Collins in best position. Gruszewski came late and did really well. The crumb at the front was Ralston, and they go to Toby Green in the forward pocket, who just says, nah, I got it from here.
So I love this setup in the centre bounce in the Giants. So they're facing the member side, the commentary side. The winger on that side, which is Bedford, did not rush in. He stayed out to allow that exit. They've done that 3 times.
Green opens up the angle. Right foot, snap, squeezes it in. Giants have the first 3 here at Carrara. It's the exact opposite to what happened at the Sydney Showground. They have jumped the Suns 3-1-19 to a solitary behind for the Suns. We've played 11 minutes here at Carrara. Saturday Arvo footy, your experts are Jeff White and Jamie Stanton.
So both rucks are facing towards, when you look at the TV, I guess they're facing towards that wing. That wing, who was Bedford, stayed back here. In fact, he went backwards. He went backwards off the line. And what that does, it creates the opportunity when they hit it forward, or when Briggs hits it into that area, it creates those opportunities for those mids to exit without any confusion or anyone coming off the wing. So they're very smart play, and they've done that on 3 occasions now.
And I think at the moment, GWS's forward line has just competed really hard and got to the right spots. They're just demonstrating what Whitey said in the warm-up, that they're on and they're ready to fire.
Giants, 5 clearances to the Gold Coast, yet to have one. Back into the middle. They'll get another clearance here through Darcy Jones. He flicks the handball through to Callaghan, to Canelio. From 55, Stephen Canelio. Long effort. It just faded left. Toby Green says, what about me? I was leading up as it goes through for another behind. 20 plays, 1, 19 points the margin in favour of the Giants.
There was another ball on the ground when it went inside forward 50 there.
You never see that, do you?
No, it's fortunate that no one tripped on that ball when that was going inside forward 50.
Will Powell Footy in his hand. Takes enough time for the umpire to call play on. So out to his right, down the wing. Witts holds the position, spilt it in his left hand. Butterick's there, has a second go at it. O'Halloran tackles him and gets a second tackle. Rowell disposed of the footy over his head, which meant it went over the boundary line between wing and half forward for the Giants, who lead here by 19.
Gee, O'Halloran's a very thick-set opponent. He absolutely drilled Matt Rowell. As Cornelio and Rowell renew acquaintances in front of this contest, Witts versus Riccardi. It goes over the top of both of them. It's going to be a free kick to Witts. Riccardi just wrestling with the big man illegally. Witts flares it out to the right towards the boundary line to find Tuke Miller. He goes long towards half forward. Lee Kalia was best served. It was a good contest from Ethan Reid to bring it to ground. Umpire says that it was an illegal tackle in the end. Reid a little bit too overzealous, and Lee Kalia will take the free kick just on the arc of 50. Wants to play on quickly. Got the handball off to Callaghan, who runs straight to the corridor. Got the 1-2 handball off Whitfield. They retreat a little bit further. It's with Iden. Iden now to the wing on the outer side. Mac Andrew had a chop of the arms off Callum Brown there. He'll get the free kick just forward to centre wing.
Short 45 kick to Rowell. Near the point of the square. Attacking side for the Suns. No goal yet for the home side. He's going to kick to the pocket. Himmelberg lurking, as was Aliir, but Reid, it's stuck. And they have a mark inside 50. There hasn't been many of them for the Suns, and Ethan Reid will line up in the left forward pocket for the Suns first.
Ethan started really well. He's come up the ground, taken a good contested mark in the goal square. Might be a bit of a coming-of-age moment for him.
His 17th game this year. Is this the big one? Easy as you like on his right foot. And they can breathe a sigh of relief. The crowd at Carrara are happy because the Suns are on the board. 3-2, 20 to 1-1-7. Giants leading by 13. Nearly 15 minutes into the first term here on ABC Sport.
Yeah, it was a good contested mark there from Ethan Reid. I'd still like them to put it to the top of the goal square, though. And you put it in that position that it goes out and you can have a boundary throw-in. But, yeah, it was nice and deep, so it allowed them to set up quite well. But if it wasn't marked, but it was a great contested mark there and a good finish in the end.
And the goal comes about because GWS are trying to force their orange tsunami, with which, if you're Kingsley, you're not upset by that because that's their game plan. So Callahan's doing a few things in the back half, trying to receive the ball and create run. That's what he wants him to do. So you're annoyed it didn't come off, leads in a goal, but you're not annoyed that he tried it.
So the secondary ruck's in there. Ethan Reid, having just kicked that goal's in the ruck for the Gold Coast, up against Riccardi. Umpire doesn't recall that bounce. It went up a little bit obscurely, but there was rove there by Davies. He couldn't get away from the tackle of Tom Green. Put him down, and the umpire says holding the ball. So Tom Green just adjacent to the centre circles to the right. Just a long straight one. Inside 50. Cadman at the back. Chopping in front there was Oscar Adams. Off hands. Darcy Jones flicks the handball back to Thomas. Thomas on the left foot from 30. Hits the post a third of the way up. Close thing for the Suns as the Giants go to 21 points versus the Suns 7. So it's a 14-point margin with 16 gone first term.
The Giants are just a lot cleaner below their knees. First 10 minutes of this game. It's always an early sign that they're on and they're winning those contested and uncontested possessions.
Joel Jeffrey finds Yulin with about a quarter of a second to spare. Angwin came late. It's well done by Yulin, who was strong in the contest. Marks on the paint. Fans out to the right. Long up the line. Reid, the goal kicker for the Suns, contests. It comes down to Holman, who can't pick it up. Flanders can. He's tackled immediately by Green. So we'll have a ball up about 80 metres out from the Suns' goal. Giants leading by 14.
Nearly 22 degrees here on the Gold Coast. Bathed in sunshine, Carrara. Umpire throws it up. Reid gets involved again, brings it to Grant Holman with his experience through traffic. The left foot outside of the boot towards the top of the square. Beautifully read there by Lee Kalia. Came forward with a nice chest mark. Flares it out to the right by hand to Iden. Iden kicks it to right half back. He's looking for Rouston. Will it bounce nicely for him? No. It bounced in favour of Mac Andrew. He gave the handball out to Jeffrey. Jeffrey's handball cut off there, but McAndrew put himself back into the frame. Gathered, tried to drill a pass there to Ben Long. Nicely spoiled by the GWS defence. Picked up by Bedford, tackled. Umpire says, crowd wanted holding the ball. Umpire says, I'll hug myself, and ball it up 45 metres out.
Watching McAndrew play with Ralston there, it was like a father and son. The differential in height. The bounce went the way of Andrew. Clearance the way of the Giants here, though. They're on top in that area. Green handballing to O'Halloran, who handballs in front of Ralston. Missed the target. Adams cleans up, but then he misses it. We'll go back for a free kick. Giants will play on because they've had two escape out the front of the contest unmarked. One of them is Ralston, and he marks 55 from home. Just beyond him, looks around. Lead comes from Cadman. Kick is short of him, though, so the pickup is good. Turns on his left. All Suns, though, where he kicks the ball. Coming late was Green. Big spoil over the top of Davies, and they're going to pay advantage. Suns with the free kick go down the line.
Yeah, it wasn't much advantage there because Lee Collier was serviced well by that kick. He went well against Farah. He scrubs one forward to find Thomas. His little sand wedge finds Whitfield. Just forward to centre wing on the outer side. Whitfield gestures for a leader to come at him. And by the time Brown did, Flanders read it best and actually cutting cross in front of him and took a mark at left half back. Once again, the Giants set up nicely. He flares it across to the right to find his skipper, Anderson. Anderson retreats back to the goal square, the top of the goal square for Sam Collins. He goes to right half back now to Bodie Hewland.
They just can't get this slingshot footy going, the Suns, off the half back line because Giants are going one-on-one. So it's forcing them to kick down the line.
They're lucky, though. Joel Jeffrey stuck up the mitts and under pressure took a mark. Goes towards King, who's just shoved out by Taylor. You don't see that often these days. And they've paid the free kick. Flanders takes advantage. Deep entry. Who's there at the square? Alir v Farah. Farah gets rid of Alir, who has his arms outstretched, looks to the umpire, who says, nah, it was a mark. Farah will kick from 10 metres out to give the Suns their second.
Not strong enough in the contest there, Alir.
I walked in right in front of Jai Farah. He's wearing his Birkenstocks. He had his sort of flashy sunnies on. He looked like the coolest, most chill character in the world. So I don't think this will faze him. He'll kick from a slight angle. Jai Farah. Lecalier on the mark and makes no mistake. Jai Farah, who's kicking goals in just about every game since he's come in, kicks another one. 3-3-21 to the Giants. 2-1-13 to the Suns. It is an 8-point ball game. We've played 20 minutes here at Carrara. Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport. Your experts are Jeff White and Jamie Stanton.
On Jai Farah, it's funny, right? He's had a very big hiatus from the AFL for a while and has come in and performing at high quality standard. But last year, he had a really tough conversation with Dimmer at the end of the year. And he actually, instead of returning home to the NT where he's from, he came down and trained with us AFLW girls and put time and energy and effort into making us and our program better, but also himself. Dimmer said to him, when you go home, you don't come back in the shape we need you, so we need you to stay here. He put his career first, and he's now reaping the rewards. Yes, that's so much later, but it's there.
That's a good yarn, actually, Jamie, as it comes off hands there to Noah Anderson. The skipper kicks it to the arc of 50. Well played by Butterick to bring it to ground. Giants with the numbers, though, did well. Off hands it comes to Tom Green. He gives it off there to Sam Taylor. To right half back, Harvey Thomas juggles it nicely. The Gold Coast there sit up nicely in front of him too, so Harvey Thomas is looking down the line. Takes off. It's a good long left footer in the Briggs direction, but cutting in front of him. Big Jared Witts took the defensive mark, so a little bit of an arm wrestle happening right now in this game.
Witts on that left foot, a 2:01 gamer. Himmelberg led, but it's as if he missed the flight of the ball. It hit turf. Suns with the players. Davies at the back there. Grabs it. 1-on-1 inside 50. Taylor got the early contact, protected his space, and took the mark as he fell back.
Gee, the Gold Coast forwards will know they're alive playing against Sam Taylor, wouldn't they? He's just absolutely sublime as a defender. He peels around the right of the mark. Witts cuts in front of Briggs yet again. Nicely roved there by Thomas. Gets onto his trusty left foot, puts it into the path of Toby Green. Gathers in front of Davies for the Suns. The handball backwards to Brown. He chips it to centre wing. Onto the logo. Tom Green as well.
This is his 8th possession. I think Tom Green is outstanding so far.
He is a strong unit, isn't he?
Toby
Just barely
Green.
the fifth to Toby Green, forward to centre wing on the outer side. He kicks it to right half forward, and he was looking there for Grishevsky, was actually spoiled nicely by Oscar Adams. He went back for it, handball over to Canelio. Canelio puts it into the path of Grishevsky. He has a bit of a sidestep, and then that's off the side of the boot, I reckon, but it fell nicely for Ralston in the opposite pocket. He takes it, and he can go back and kick his second goal for the term. He's only about 10 metres out, sharpish angle, but curling it around with the right foot shouldn't be a problem from here.
It's the goal assist you don't tell anyone about.
I meant that one. I did. I meant it. I laced it out. Here's Ralston. Curls it around nicely, and he gets his second, and the Giants get their fourth, 4-3-27 to the Gold Coast Suns 2-1-13. Back to that 14-point margin late in the first term.
What a fantastic 1-2 play by Canelio and Grudreski there. It's normally you see that in hands moving around. Canelio was very smart in his delivery back to Grudreski, who was more just tracking back to the goal square, trying to get Wi-Fi. He just puts it out in front of him, and it allows the unorthodox assist to take place.
That's
but
coming from a player, isn't it?
That's
It is.
diplomatic.
It is.
Very much so.
you take all the stats you can get them, especially when they're effective. So
Grishevsky, one of those guys who pretty much has only been in the team when the likes of Hogan or Cadman are injured. Hogan with the foot issue that is plaguing him this year. So Grishevsky would love some goals for himself, but the dish off to Ralston there, who's been sub his last 3 games, he will just be stoked to be out there. And what a start. 2 goals for Harry Ralston. 27-13, the Giants lead. Bounce of the ball is good. Miller around the back of the contest. Picked it up, kicks it wide. And out in front, Ainsworth. Whitish first turn from Ainsworth, who wheels and goes. Another deep entry. Attacking the footy was Reid. It went over him and Taylor. Is that out of bounds on the full, or did it just pitch inside? It did. So we'll have a ball in. Suns attacking 50, 24 and a half minutes into this first term.
So 14 inside 50s to 8 in favour of the Gold Coast. They're only going at 15% conversion, and the Giants 50%. 4 goals from their 8 entries. Off the hands of the ruckman, it's a bit of a stacks on at ground level. Jared Witts adds to that pile along with Briggs, 2 big units, and the ball stuck underneath them. Umpire's going to throw it up 30 metres from the Gold Coast goal, angle to the left. Witts got it down. Rao monstered off it there by Callaghan. He went back and got it, Matt Rao. Wild handball falls into the arms of McAndrew. Under pressure, he kicks it to the pocket looking for Long. Bounces awkwardly for all. Taylor flicked it back in. Wild handball comes across the face of goal to Darcy Jones. He gives it back to Lockie Ash, and Lockie Ash bumped as he kicked it. Crowd don't like it, but it will be a relayed free kick. It'll go to left half back, and it'll go to the Giants in front of that baying Gold Coast members stand. Bedford flicks it back to the right to find Ash.
They're probably going to play it deliberate too, because there was no other Giants players out there and it went out of bounds. So
Ash to Whitfield, who looks into the middle, and Finn Callaghan is waiting at the top of the 50. You don't leave him in space because he just opens up the whole ground. Kick across to Thomas. Inside 50. The Giants walk that through from end to end, and then Briggs misses a fairly easy one. And they spurn a chance. They open the Suns right up there, 28-13.
So it's a 15-point margin. The Suns bring it back in quickly. They're under siege here, and they're doing it easy when they get it to their forward half, the Giants. Noble has it at right half back for the Suns. He kicks it to the wing. Callaghan nicely spoiled in the end by Reid. Front and square Davies. Handball Butterick through traffic. The handball comes forward to Farah. He flicks one by hand to Tuke Miller. They're up to right half forward now to the arc. To the top of the square. Giants with a 2-on-1. Good battle there by Ainsworth to bring it to ground. Fiorini picked it up. Had a snap. Diving there was Iden, as the goalkeeper flicked it through and rushed it through for a behind. Better work there from the Suns, but good defence from the Giants. Back to 14 points, 28 plays 14.
that was good. That was a good contest down the wing there from Reid, because they're getting outmatched in that area at the moment, the Suns, so they need to bring it to ground when they kick it down the line.
Whitfield finds an out in Himmelberg, and again, there is so much space on the wing for the Giants. It's Harvey Thomas on his left foot. Riccardi over the back. Leaping early was Adams. He missed it completely. Riccardi lowers the eyes and spots up Bedford. He'll kick for goal. from just inside 40 metres on a slight angle. They've gone end to end again.
I mentioned this at the start of the game, Declan. Their forwards, the Giants, this is where the backs of the Suns, they just can't get their slingshot footy going at the moment, the Suns, because the Giants are setting up one-on-one behind the ball, so it's forcing them down the line, but their slingshot footy at the moment and their ability to run forward for the Giants is impressive.
So Bedford, sometimes a tagger, but you don't need to when they're on top like this. He's been a goal kicker in 6 out of their last 7 games. Make it 7 out of 8. Bedford is on the board and they open up a 20-point lead, the away team. 5-4-34 to 2-2-14. We've played 27 and a half minutes. It's 22 degrees, bright sunshine here at Carrara. And the Giants have the jump early on ABC Sports. Saturday footy.
GWS are doing a fantastic job of making the ground big, creating their ability to slingshot and jumping the pressing defence of Gold Coast. Gold Coast are playing that press or, the style of football where they are not playing man on man. And what GWS are doing are just making the ground big, slingshotting out the other side and getting them out the back. Gold Coast need to attack that by putting more pressure at the source originally. So they need to stop and make it more contested at the first point of contact just to eradicate that problem.
So Witts gets it down to Touk Miller for the Suns, and it's a rare centre bounce clearance that goes inside 50. Ainsworth got there first. He was tackled off at the ball spills towards the boundary line, but it's towed off the deck there by Brown. It's going to be paid as insufficient intent. It'll go to the Gold Coast, so it's with Braden Fiorini at left half forward. He's standing on the boundary line, kicks it inside 50. Butterick, how did he do that against Lockie Ash? Great body work for the little man. Takes it 30 out, slight angle to the left.
Great kick there. Great kick. Who was Fiorini that kicked it in? Great kick, but good work there from Butterick. And it was similar to what Flanders did when he kicked it into Farah. So they've tidied up their inside forward 50. It's the only way that's keeping them in the game at the moment for the Suns.
Connor Butterick, 3 goals, 8 for the year. The Labrador product comes in from 35. Goal umpire didn't move. Did not move. Suns crowd happy. Gold Coast get their third. 5-4-34 to the Giants. 3-2-20 for the Gold Coast Suns. Back to that 14-point margin late in the first quarter.
Geez, Kingsley wouldn't be happy with that. There's only 10 seconds to go in the first quarter.
I wouldn't pick him either.
But I think he'd be really happy the way they're moving the transition of the ball at the moment and the way they're forcing the Suns to not have that slingshot footy. I know I keep repeating it, but that's the one wood of the Gold Coast Suns. And the Giants are stopping them with that strength at the moment.
And they're doing it back to them, which is the impressive part.
Yeah,
they're stopping them doing it and doing it extremely effectively the other way. But as you called earlier, Whitey, fantastic body work. It was early body work. He got Ash as he was tracking the flight. Really good by Butters, who's another fantastic supporter of the AFLW.
10 seconds left in this quarter, as you heard from the expert Jeff White. It took 8 seconds to get a Suns goal in the clash earlier on this year. Can they do it? Quick clearance goes the way of the Giants. Need to mark. Riccardi gets free and does mark. Pushed off Adams, ran into the space and will kick for goal after the siren. You said Kingsley was angry.
Now
how's Hardwick going to be?
Yeah, I know, but Kingsley's
Kingsley
happy right now. He just wants to finish this off and have a good reply. But that, for me, is a really good sign, too, of how quickly they've responded.
Riccardi goalless 2 of his last 3 weeks. After the quarter time siren, and he pushes it across the face. So behind to end the first term, it is 5-5-35 to 3-2-20. A 15-point lead to the Giants, and Noah Anderson is calling his team in before the coaches get there. He's saying, come in here, we have to have a word. The goal kickers in that first quarter, well, the first 3 went the way of their Giants. Cornelio, Rouston and Green. Rouston doubled up, and Bedford, the other one. Ethan Reid, Farah and Butterick for the Suns. So at quarter time, as the Suns have a little crisis meeting as we head to the break here on ABC Sports. Saturday afternoon footy, the Giants leading the Suns by 15.
ABC iView.
Lose yourself in gripping entertainment.
Somebody here.
Like with the family next door.
Know something.
Darby and Joan.
I'm going to find out who did this to you.
And Bay of Fires.
What the...
Always free, always gripping. ABC iView.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Looking for Toby Green. He had numbers there, Bedford. He rove nicely. Handball Canelio in the left pocket. And he has a snap, Canelio. Ripping shot. Good start for the Giants. They get the first goal with only a couple of minutes on the board.
Green opens up the angle. Right foot, snap. Squeezes it in. Giants have the first three here at Carrara. It's the exact opposite to what happened at the Sydney Showground. Himmelberg lurking, as was Aliir, but Reid, it's stuck. His 17th game this year. Is this the big one? Easy as you like on his right foot. He'll kick from a slight angle. Jai Farah. Leclerc on the mark and makes no mistake.
Here's Ralston. Curls it around nicely and he gets his second and the Giants get their fourth.
So Bedford, sometimes a tagger, but you don't need to when they're on top like this. He's been a goal kicker in 6 out of their last 7 games. Make it 7 out of 8.
Connor Butterick, 3 goals, 8 for the year. The Labrador product comes in from 35. Goal umpire didn't move. Did not move.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
So 21st edition of the Expansion Cup, and the Giants had the jump this time at Carrara. So at quarter time, 35-20 they lead. It's a 5-goal to 3-quarter. They had a chance to get a 6th after the siren. Riccardi missing late, but they would be pleased with their start. The Suns got into the game eventually, but it took a little while. This game is a final shaper. If the Suns win this, they can eye off serious contention at a top 4 spot. And if the Giants lose, well, next week becomes so nervous because no matter what, they are relying on other results. 22 degrees, beautiful conditions. We've had a good start. Your experts today, the 250 gamer, Jeff White, and the inaugural Sun and inaugural Lion, Jamie Stanton. What do we make of the first quarter?
I think it was just played in the Giants' hand. They had it on their terms. I really love that the way they went one-on-one behind the ball, so it didn't allow the Suns to have that slingshot footy off the half-back line. They were forced to go down the line, and that's where the representation of the bigs, Kings, the Reids, they need to get, and even Wits, down the line. They need to make a contest if that's going to happen. But then once the ball hit the ground, Giants are so clean. They were clean below their knees. They were spreading, they were using their hands, and they were changing direction, so it didn't allow for the Suns' backs to be able to set up. You're right about that flag there, Pricey, because I think Riccardi, when he had that shot, he missed it to the right. So
I reckon Dimmer's playing games.
Dimmer's playing games when he had that shot at quarter time. But they're just playing them they're on their terms at the moment. The Giants, they look fast, they look clean. And, yeah, it's not danger signs, but you did mention it, Declan, that Noah Anderson did call him in for a big huddle. And Jamie, you were looking at some of the stats in there, the coach's box. What could you see?
Yeah, I've been looking at some of we're very lucky here that we can sort of peek into the Gold Coast Suns coach's box and see some of their reactions when things go right and things go wrong. And really, at the moment, they're only really too happy with their inside 50 numbers, their forward half turnovers, which their number is quite small. They're only +4, which, as Dimmer said earlier this week, they want to be a forward half turnover team, and +4 is not enough for his liking. I know that for a fact. And their mid-contested possessions is the only other thing that they're going well, which, like Whitey said throughout the call, of Gold Coast want a slingshot off half-back. So if they're winning it contestedly through the middle of the ground, they're generally not being able to slingshot effectively that well. And lastly, like I said, their inside 50s, they're in front by +5 or 6, I think it is. But their scores per those inside 50s are significantly lower, which I mentioned in the pre-game, which was going to be a really important thing for the game today. Gold Coast get a lot of inside 50s, but they're very... when you look at them across the competition, they sit about mid-table for their percentage into goals or scores, and today they're sitting well below that. I'm sure Price will be able to tell me what I'm talking about right now as he's fumbling through the stats.
17 inside 50s, so they've only got the 3 goals, so that's operating at 17.6% goal efficiency. Have a look at Harvey Thomas, though, 10 disposals. He's had 6 kicks.
So he averages 10 across the whole season, Pricey. What's he at now?
He's got 9 disposals
already
for the first part. So 45% is the way the Giants are operating inside 50. Though they've got 5 goals from just 11 entries. So the Gold Coast are getting their entries, but I just wanted to point out that plus 18 in disposals, GWS. The Coast are leading by 3 in contested possessions. But outside of that, it's all GWS. 10 tackles to 5. That was a disturbing figure, is the fact that the Gold Coast have only laid 5 tackles for that first quarter.
Massively, and as I said, they've got to be able to put pressure at the source to stop the way GWS want to slingshot off their halfback. So with the tackle numbers being down is an indication of them not being able to do that.
Tom Green leading the clearances as well with 4. Anderson just the 1. Rowell leading the competition for the season. And he's got to get going. Tap comes defensive side. O'Halloran misses it. Anderson sprints at it, but he's well tackled. So ball spills loose again. Umpire blows a whistle. The umpire a bit further away. So Witts with the free kick for the Suns. He's inside the centre square. He has Powell run past him, which he obliges. Deep entry. Reed flies. Nearly. Falls to ground. Lecalier wrapping up long. At the base of the pack there was Holman. And the umpire will ball it up about 25 metres out from the Suns' goal.
Just about every GWS player on the paddock is inside 50, only 2 that aren't. So they're flooded in defence. Umpire throws it up. Witts just shaved his hand, picked up by King to Holman. By hand to Long. Under pressure, Long snaps and Long goals. The Carrara crowd applaud that one. And the bugle sounds on the 4th goal for the Suns. 5-5-35 to the Giants. 4-2-26 for the Gold Coast. Back to 9 points the margin. We've only played a minute of the second term Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport.
Geez, that was a good finish by Long. In traffic too and away. And good that they got the handball out. King did really, really well there to get his hands free, to be able to get his hands out and get the hand pass. But a great finish by Long on the non-preferred side too.
He's had a ripping year. So 38 goals now in 2025, which is his best ever. He is second behind Ben King. The 50's way up ahead of him, but Ben Long in that All-Australian convo earlier on in the year, you'd think he'd make the squad as one of those small, medium forward types. Importantly, the first goal of the second term goes the way of the home team. Oh, what a tap. Witts to Anderson. That is their play, and King spilt the mark. Taylor came late, following up with a good tackle. Pressure's on, 10 metres out from the Suns' goal. Whitfield mops up to Angwin, turns on his left and kicks it up the line. That hits grass. Noble first there. Bedford half a step behind him, applies a strong tackle on the ground. Noble handballs it defensive side, which ends up being the way of the Giants. They attack through the middle. Inboard through the centre square. Ash to Callaghan. Feigned right. He was never going that way. Gets on his left. Long towards Cadman, who can't mark. They went end to end again. It was Will Powell who played above his height and weight. We'll have a ball in left forward pocket.
That pick-up from Iden on the wing was fantastic for a big fella, moving at top speed just to pick it up with one hand and get the ball moving. But what about that tap-out from Witts in the middle? It was just behind his ear, so it was exactly what we spoke about at the start of the game.
Jeff White loves a bit of good ruck work. The throw in, left forward pocket there for the Giants. Toby Green through traffic. Harvey Thomas gathers. Tackled. Got the handball away. Cornelio tackled off the ball. It's just raised a notch this game as the ball gets attacked by several players at ground level. Peeling himself off as Harvey Thomas as the umpire will come in and throw it up. It's close to the goal square, only about 15 metres away from the Giants' goal line. Witts slapped it forward. Davies brushed off O'Halloran. No mean feat. Got the kick away. Tuke Miller did well to bring it to ground. Now he leads in the chase. Couldn't quite gather. Tackled off it. Then he gathered and gave it to Bodie Hewlin. He flicked it to Flanders. Flanders over to Oscar Adams under pressure just beyond centre wing. It's going to bounce in favour of the Giants. It's going to be a holding decision. It'll go back to Lockie Ash and will go against Ben Ainsworth.
It was unlucky. They were both sort of confused at where the ball was dropping.
Yep.
Slight block, but that was stiff. So Ash looks short. They pay the mark. O'Callaghan wheels around on his left and long towards Brown. Comes off the contest. Angwin on his left foot right to the line. Goalkeeper was there. So a behind and extends the Giants' lead out just a little bit more. We've played 4 minutes. 10 points their lead. It's 36-26.
So again, just finding players loose inside that forward 50, the Giants just didn't work out as far as the goal goes. Playing on now was Noble out of the goal square. Kicks it just short of centre wing, and reading it best was Callaghan for GWS. Takes it over the boundary line. Right next to the interchange gates, we'll get a throw in.
So the matchup for Bedford has been on Noble. That's been interesting. So that just shows you how the Giants see their slingshot footy off the half-back line.
Witts gets rid of Briggs, taps it down the front. Didn't bounce for Davies. He tapped it, though, eventually to Anderson, who was tackled by Thomas. And ball back to Davies, who gives it straight up. Tom Green's there, tries to evade Miller. He can't. Ball comes free. Thomas is so busy today, and he's kicked down the line. Finds the waiting hands of Hewlin, who'll look to go inboard.
He finds Will Powell, been busy early as well, standing the mark Toby Green. He's 60 from his own defensive goal. Now Green moved off the mark. Crowd is imploring the umpire to do something about it. He's unmoved. Long kick now towards the point of the centre square on the left. Front and square was Rowell. Got the handball back to Touk Miller. He's under pressure immediately. He dropped the ball. Umpire says play on. Offhand stolen by Davies. His kick smothered by Likalia. Plenty of pressure in this game. It moves to centre half forward. Noble's up there. His kick was turned over. Well done to Cornelio. Flared a handball back to Whitfield under enormous pressure. He measures a lovely pass and finds Himmelberg just at left half back.
Himmelberg looks up the wing. Angwin marks and slows play down. Suns have the chance to set up. No one on the mark, though, so Angwin gains a freebie. 10 metres he runs, and Cadman launches. Did he spill the mark? It hit the ground. Collins piled in on top of him. We'll have a ball up to the left of the centre square, 70 out from the Giants' goal. Thrown up. Briggs gets front spot this time and uses it well to Green. His handball to O'Halloran was up in the sky. It was a bit of a hospital pass, so O'Halloran slapped it forward in the direction of Toby Green, who picked it up, shrugged the shoulders, gives a handball, but Mac Andrew makes sure it goes out of bounds where the 50 meets the boundary line. 6.5 minutes played, just the one goal in this second term. It went the way of the Suns. They trail by 10.
So the throw in straight across the arc at left half forward for GWS. Briggs and Witts. Witts got it down, stolen by O'Halloran onto the left foot from the paint of 50 to the goal line. In fact, it's over the goal line. Oh, he got some weight on that, did O'Halloran, and gets another goal for the Giants. Extends their lead now, 6-6-42 to the Gold Coast, 4-2-26. It's up to a 16-point margin, and we've played 7 minutes of the second term.
Pricey, question without notice. What is if we have it, the tackle efficiency of Gold Coast? Because it feels like at the moment, from watching this game, that GWS are being able to step out of the first tackle or shrug off the first tackle and dispose quite cleanly, where on the flip side, GWS seem to be laying their tackles, which affects disposal efficiency and how we move and play this game at the moment. Oh. And I feel like I've broken you here, Pricey. So I'll just keep filtering.
Well,
but
you can see into the rooms. Can you see it on the board over there in the sun?
Not an important stat at Gold Coast, apparently. It's I think it might be today because it's a real issue right now.
What a finish by O'Halloran, though. Just launched it without much fanfare. Tom Green was tackled by Rowell. He's still got a handball away. It's up for grabs here. Angwin. He handballs over his head. They get it moving forward at least, but the Suns have numbers at the contest. Such big tackle pressure right now. It is a hot footy on a hot day here at Carrara, and Cornelio didn't apply one correctly, says the umpire, so Hewlin with the free kick.
But it's been they're not only their first tackle, but their second tackle, their third tackle has been spot on today so far from the Giants.
Hewlin kicks it as far as he can. Lecalier flies over the top of Witts. Happy to spoil that over for a boundary throw-in. 60 metres out from the Suns' goal. They trail by 16.
A lot of clubs have been implementing the one-on-one behind the ball, and that's what the Giants have done. This is the first time I've seen them live all year, but it's really forced the Suns to kick it down the line every single time. They have not been able to get through. They haven't had any flow-on footy at all.
I'm a broken man. I can't find that stat that Jamie asked me to, so I'll keep plugging away as it comes off hands there. Darcy Jones for the Giants kicks it beyond centre wing. Well done by Cadman, who spoiled Collins and brought it to ground. Cadman got involved again, flicked it forward now. Well, Brown for the Giants. He got away, he fell over and then was jumped on by Noble. Crowd wanted holding the ball, but it was an illegal tackle there by Noble.
I reckon he tweaked his ankle too when he was trying to
He just slipped awkwardly, didn't he, Callum Brown? But he takes the free kick in between centre wing and left half forward on the outer side. It's going to be a long kick inside 50. Goes to a massive pack, fisted forward for the Gold Coast. Off hands, Tom Green. Under pressure, has a snap. Pulls it left, one behind. So they're pressing very hard, the Giants. 43 plays 26, 17 points the margin now.
Suns waste no time. Jeffrey's in the left back pocket. He chips it in between two Giants. Great weight kick. Raul marks, and they'll try to go through the centre here. So Jeff White's telling us that they can't find the corridor. Well, they might just have it here. Flanders to Farah, edge of the square. They go down route one. King is the target, but he's in a 1-on-2, and Himmelberg was the second one who left his man to help out Taylor. An intercept mark for the Giants, just 10 metres out from their defensive goal.
How many times has Ben King been exposed to 2 versus 1 as the Giants bring it back out? Goes over the boundary line. No, Cadman kept it in. It was very, very close thing. Picked up there by Hewland off the boot of Cadman, and he's tackled and takes it over the boundary line on the outer side.
Himmelberg averages 7 marks a game. He's already up to 3, including that intercept. He had 13 last week.
They're making it easy pickings, just putting it on the head of King when he's got a couple of opponents. Congested on the outer side. As I say, bathed in sunshine, 22 degrees here at Carrara, off the hands of Witts. Rowell immediately tackled into the ground by Callahan and absolutely smothered. So it'll be a thrown up on the logo on the outer side.
Witts v Riccardi. Umpire is going to pay the free kick the way of the Suns. Witts doesn't think it's his. He's trying to hand it off. In the end, they say, no, it's yours. Noble runs past anyway. One of their big metre gained proponents. He goes deep, but once again flying across, leaving his man. This time it was Iden. Big fist out of bounds. Saturday Arvo footy here. Giants lead by 17.
Once again, it's a congested area inside the Suns forward 50. Only 3 sets of players outside along the halfway mark. Witts in the front position, slams it forward. It's cut off there by Whitfield under enormous pressure. In fact, it was Angwin. He got his hands to it, did Noah Anderson, and half smothered it over the boundary line at right half forward for the Suns. Will be another throw in. It's the Giants by 17 points after 12 minutes of the second term. As Jeff White pointed out early, Giants are on. Gold Coast just sputtering a little at the moment. The home side. Witts versus Riccardi. Witts did it easily. Got down to ground level, but at ground level it was all Giants. They overran the ball, picked up by Weller. His handball to Buderick into close quarters. He went backwards to find Noble, who did a nice little soft shoe shuffle to get away. Kicks it inside 50. Farah in the front position. Has he taken the mark? Yes. It was a really good effort coming in from Fonte to spoil that one, but Farah, strong in front, takes it 40 metres out, 45-degree angle to the right.
That was a great mark. Yeah, it was 2 other Giants going up at the same time and just in front. You saw it early, which was really good, but a good kick from Noble.
He did
kick
well
it along the boundary line like they've been doing quite a bit.
Well, they do need this one, the Gold Coast. Giants doing it well so far. Jai Farah from 45 metres out. He pulls it to the left and just managed to stay in for a behind. So 43 plays 27. Back to 16 points the margin. 13 gone second term.
Listening to ABC Sport, Saturday Arvo footy. Declan Byrne and Michael Price calling the action. Jeff White and Jamie Stanton giving us all the intel. Lockie Ash runs his full measure out of the goal square. Kicks it as far as he can. Coming late was Buderick who affected it. And the Suns, a grubber forward. Farah is there. And it'll trickle over the boundary line under pressure from Fonte.
So positive this quarter for the Suns is that they've restricted the Giants from actually moving the ball from their back half the forward, which are so dominant in the first quarter. That's because they've changed from a zone. They're going one-on-one behind the ball now, the Suns.
Sharon spun back in. Ethan Reid with the tap. Noah Anderson looked inside 50, didn't like anything, so gave it to Powell, who was inside the centre square. Green all over him. Ball comes loose. Jeffrey picks it up. He crawls on hands and knees like a toddler, but Ralston was there on him, making sure the ball didn't go anywhere. So we'll have a ball up front edge of the centre square for the Suns. They trail by 16.
You could throw a hanky over about 20 players here. Edge of the centre square. Flanders gave it to Anderson. Tried to get through traffic. Great tackling. Darcy Jones holding the ball. He flicks it by hand to Callaghan. Callaghan to centre half forward. Toby Green in a 3-on-1, and he still managed to get the ball to ground. Unfortunately, it landed in the hands of Lockie Weller for the Suns. By hand to Miller. Miller to Farah. 70 from goal at right half forward. Gold Coast starting to move the ball. Back into the corridor to Flanders. Just forward to centre wing. And once again, the Giants flood back in numbers and clog up this forward 50 for the Suns. Flanders now to the right of the mark, to the right forward pocket. It's going to be a massive pack. Sam Taylor. How about that for a defensive grab? One clunker in the middle of the pack. He's a great player, Sam Taylor.
Averages 4 intercept marks a game. It's the best in the competition. The guy behind him is Sam Collins. So we've got our 2 best intercept defenders on show here. Sam Taylor kicks it down the line. Ralston was tackled, but he got a handball late. So they'll retreat. Asher's kick, though, it is risky. Over the top of Himmelberg, he has Taylor there to clean up, who was bumped by Long, and Taylor stayed down for a second. The umpires paid the free kick. If they give an advantage, they have. The Giants are away up the wing. Cadman, big leap in front of Collins, didn't mark it, but played on. Got the bounce like it was a basketball. It sat up for him. Inside 50 is up against the boundary line, just inside the paint by a metre. Riccardi can't pick it up. We'll have a ball in. Another end-to-end slingshot from the Giants. They lead this contest by 16 on ABC Sport.
Must be frustrating when you've got 24 inside 50s to 15 and the other team is dominating you. Thrown in across the arc. At left half forward for the Giants. Off the hands of Reid. Taken by Rowell. He's monstered in the tackle by Tom Green. Lets loose the ball. Picked up by Callaghan. He boots it inside 50. Powell, he was dealt with illegally. Front on contact against Toby Green. The crowd loved it. Powell gets the free kick. Immediately straight up the corridor to find Anderson. By hand to Miller. Miller to Ethan Reid. The youngster can't quite control it. Keeps it in front of him though. Gathers. Tackled off it by Fonte. He got it to Long. Long to Rowell. Rowell from 40. Rowell goals. Best passage of play all day for the Suns. Gets their 5th goal and drags them within 10 points. 6-7-43 to 5-3-33. And we've played 16 minutes of the second quarter, Jamie Stanton.
Whitey has been saying this all game. Gold Coast can't get their slingshot game going, and that's the exact thing that he was talking about, that exact passage of play. It was not pretty by any stance in listeners. Pricey made it sound like it was very pretty. It was not. It was handball hit the ground, Suns player picks it up, handball gets tackled, somehow fumbles it forward. Ethan Reid displaying his 2K run ability over his opponent in Briggs. It was just get the ball forward as quick as they possibly can so that they can get that slingshot going, and hopefully that sets them up moving forward. But it was not pretty, but effective, and that's all you need sometimes.
And all it takes is a player to take that risk to go through the corridor, and that's what Powell did.
Michael Price might get a job as the Suns editor, making him look really good, but that might spark them through the middle. Ball's bounced. No one can get clear possession, so have a free kick. Green's mystified because Took Miller, who went low, picks up the free kick in the centre circle. Here's McAndrew running by, chooses not to kick it to him, instead to Anderson, still inside the centre square. So they go long down the middle once again. Farah and Long, big shove came. 2 or 3 players hit the deck, including Lecalier, who's still down. Play continues. Hewland inside 50. It was a kick instead of towards the goal square, and Fiorini marks. He'll kick from just inside 50, basically right in front.
I don't mind the option there of Bodie Hewland. They've been going really long and deep with their inside 50s over the course of the game, and they're not getting a lot of reward for effort. Ben King is working his bum off as the key forward, leading, releading, and the ball just keeps getting kicked long. But shifting off the line, across the face, it can really hurt you, but it also can work sometimes.
Braden Fiorini, not one of those players who just gets picked. He has to earn every single game. He's kicked goals in his last 3. Ambles inside 50 on that left foot, and he just tugs it. 5-4-34 to 6-7-43. You know, he didn't even get a behind, so it was out on the full.
He didn't look at the flag, Pricey.
Got to look at that flag.
Got to look at that flag. Yeah. I know you're a keen one on that one.
Oh, mate, it's just sitting there sort of poking its way towards the outer side of the ground. It's long kick out there from Whitfield. Off hands of the pack, goes over the boundary line, right half forward for the Suns. Will get a throw in.
So this is the biggest positive in this shift, is because the Suns have gone one-on-one behind the ball. So now the Giants are kicking down the line. So this is why we're getting a lot of stop plays, a lot of boundary throw-ins.
A lot of one-on-ones around this contest as well as Witts versus Briggs. Witts got to the front of the contest, slapped it down. Canelio tackled off it as he got it away through the hands of Flanders. To Miller, back to Davies, now to Noble. Noble looks to spear it inside 50. Good body work by Ainsworth. Takes the mark, 45 out directly in front.
I reckon there's 3 or 4 occasions where they've won the contested footy, the Suns, and Noble's the one that's been kicking inside forward 50 at the exact same spot.
So Ben Ainsworth, boy, he's off the long run here, just forward of the centre circles. The man on the mark standing 40 out directly in front. 18 goals for the year. From just inside the paint, he leans back on it. It's straight enough though. Suns get their 6th, and all of a sudden it's back to a 4-point margin with the Giants in the lead. 20 minutes gone, second term. ABC Sport on a sunny Saturday afternoon.
I feel like there's been direct instruction from Dimmer around the way they're entering inside 50. The last couple of entries have been really off the line, as we would call them, so direct line to goal, and they've had a real distinct left or right shift of them. We saw Nobles to Jai Farah earlier in the quarter. Noah Anderson's last inside 50 was very much off the line. The kick from Bodie Ulan was across the face, and even that last one from Noble was off the line too, which is significantly different to the long and deep and straight balls that we saw throughout the first quarter and a half of footy.
Saturday Arvo footy here on ABC Sport. The closest this game has been since the ball was bounced to start, so a 4-point lead to the Giants. In the other game at the moment, Carlton have Port Adelaide 25-0 right now at Docklands. We have the close one here. It's shaping up as a tight one that is going to go down to the wire, and the Suns are back in it in this 3-1 goal quarter. But the Giants, the clearance. Callahan on his left foot didn't favour Grzyzewski. Good follow up from Adams, mid-season draft pick. McAndrew there as well to mop up for the Suns. To Jeffrey, bit of candy as he likes to do. Eventually handballs. Kick comes down the line and Farah has space. Marks. The run is there for the Suns. It comes from Flanders this time. Over the back to Reid. Oh, and he dropped a sitter. He did all the hard work. He had the position, pushed Aliir off, and then dropped it at the chest. Disappointment for Suns fans. They trail by 4. We've played 22 minutes in the second term.
They're just coming now, the Suns. The crowd getting heavily involved in the game. Umpire will throw it in just to the right of the behind post, the right forward pocket. Witts took it out of the ruck. Handball off to Miller. Miller has a snap and goes right across the face of goal. Barely contains it for a behind. So 43 plays 40. It's a 3-point margin. Nearly 23 minutes gone of this second quarter.
Lockie Ash has had a quiet month. 13 touches last week and a couple of weeks before that. He gets back in the goal square for a freebie to Harvey Thomas. Touch number 13 for him. Wide to Whitfield, their number 1 halfback user. And they're on the Nerang River wing. The Giants sit and wait. Nothing they like up ahead, so instead they veer back. They lose territory. Himmelberg marks, defensive side of the logo. He has Aliir, or he can go all the way across from one side of the centre square to the other. He does that. Sam Taylor marks. Has a bit of space in front of him. This time they go inside 53 fly. Grzyzewski had most of it. Came down to Green. Was being tackled. Threw the ball on the boot. It falls short. And the Suns will mop up inside D50 with Butterick marking.
So it's good work there from Collins. Butterick goes backwards. Oh, Joel Jeffrey's kick to left half back. It bounces in front of Holman. Bounces nicely for him. The run of Will Powell. The handball receive onto the left foot. He kicks it to left half forward. It's all Giants. They read it nicely. Sam Taylor peels off his man in King. Takes a chest mark. Little 9-iron forward to find Angwin. Just short of centre wing in the shade of the stands that are just starting to go across Carrara here on this beautiful sunny day. That's a floating sack, still finds its target in Riccardi on centre wing, just in front of the ABC Sport commentary box.
Costly turnover there from the Suns. Giants up the line. Coming in from the side was Gruszewski again. It just doesn't stick to the mitts. Hewland and McAndrew combine. Handball to Jeffrey, who looks for that attacking kick in on the 45. Ainsworth made it look good. He had time to do a little loop and really pick his best option. It was Davies, but Jones arrived, dispossesses. The Giants are off through the middle. O'Halloran on the edge of the centre square, didn't have anything he liked. Went to Riccardi by hand, then to Whitfield, who breaks through a would-be tackler. Low spearing kick on goal. Did they get a touch? It hit the post anyway. Again, punishing these Suns turnovers. Giants out to a 4-point lead. 44 plays 40. Saturday Arvo footy. 25 minutes into the second term here on ABC Sport.
So 1-3 to the Giants in this term as McAndrew just ambles up to the arc of 50. Handball to Noble. He telegraphed that, so Canelio got involved. Got the hand there. Turned it over. Canelio gets it back as it ricochets off the shins of an opponent, picked up by Cadman. He ambles inside 50. Has a bounce, basketball style. Kicks it in the direction of Gruszewski, spoiled away from him, picked up by Darcy Jones on the boundary line. Speculating handball in, clever touch from Harvey Thomas. Gave it to Bedford, who spun away. He went one too many moves and couldn't get past the wily old-timer in Holman. He throws Holman to ground. Crowd wanted 50, but Holman's going to have to just be satisfied with the free kick to relieve the pressure. He flares it to the right into the back pocket to find Bodie Hewland.
Great defence there from the Suns. The Giants, they just couldn't connect as good as they liked.
Hewland, another poor kick. It was over the top of McAndrew, which is hard to do. So he had to work for it. It'll come back inside 50 for the Giants. Toby Green spins out of a tackle. Handballs to Thomas. Hewland tackled him. The ball was dispossessed. Miller cleans up. Anderson's there. So the Rolls-Royce get their hands on it. Slow play, but they want it through the middle. Handball over the top to Witts. Callahan puts pressure on him. Again, it is not pretty, but they are moving it forward, the Suns. This time Flanders grabs the loose footy. Goes wide to Long, who has some space on Whitfield. Centering kick to King. Again in a 1-on-2. He gets a hand on it. No mark. Giants with numbers. It was Iden who was brave. Crowd want the free kick for holding the ball. Umpire puts his whistle away, so Rao grabs it. Goes Long to Long. Doesn't mark. Waiting underneath was Fonte. Umpire blows a free kick to Whitfield for the contact from Long, who appeared to be going in fairly into the contest. Long then sprays the umpire, so it's 50 metres. And they marched up the field. Whitfield will take his free kick from inside the centre square.
It's just been an entertaining second quarter, this. It's the challenge has risen from the Suns.
Off the hands now. It's with Lockie Ash just forward to the centre circles. Kicks it inside 50. Toby Green spoiled. Darcy Jones roves. Scintillating pace. Drills it through for a goal. Have a listen to the Carrara crowd. They've learned a thing or two since that Collingwood game. I reckon the Pies fans have taught them a little bit. They booed that one through, but what a great piece of roving from young Darcy Jones. 7-8-50 to the Suns, 6-4-40. It's a 10-point margin again late in the second quarter.
Sorry. Do you know where he came from, though, Pricey?
Yep.
He came from the wing.
Yep.
It came from the wing. So the logo directly across from the centre square, he's just read that beautifully and outworked his opponent in Sam Flanders, who's just watching the ball play out, going, oh, yeah, I don't need to be involved here. My job is to get fat side and get the ball when we win it, and didn't do his job first and defend. Kid with the lid. He's pretty good.
Oh, can run. Boy, that was lightning.
And he was the one that shut down Alex Davies too in that last passage of play when Gold Coast were moving the ball nicely. His speed is electrifying and really important to GWS.
So it gets to 3 points, but now it's back out to 10. And the Giants have the clearance here. Canelio to Green. To Cadman, who tries to protect his space.
Free kick.
Yeah, Collins was just a bit too enthusiastic trying to get around him. Cadman was holding space to allow for a late arrival and a mark. He gets the free kick anyway, Aaron Cadman, who will shoot for goal from about 45 metres on the 45-degree angle as the Giants lead by 10.
Oh, he's lining up for... He wouldn't want to get 2 goals in red time from the Suns' perspective with a minute to go.
Cadman Was held pretty well in the first clash in round 15, but then he got a few goals late. He's been quiet so far, but he has broken out in 2025. He's becoming a big game player, and that is another goal to just keep the Suns at bay. Aaron Cadman kicks truly 8-8-56 to 6-4-40, a 16-point lead to the Giants. Nearly 30 minutes played in this second term. Your experts here on ABC Sport are Jeff White and Jamie Stanton.
Just two goals there in red time. The Suns wouldn't be happy with that, Jamie.
Hell no. No coach is ever happy with that, especially one that's got a temper. But it's really interesting. It's a great game. Not for the skills, but the wrestling back of momentum has been really interesting to note, which is a bit like how finals are played. So we spoke about it being a bit of a final shaper. It's definitely delivering.
And I'm loving this matchup here of Matt Rowell versus Tom Green in the middle. Canelio versus Miller. And you've got Callahan versus Noah Anderson. How about the quality in that? Witts gets it down. Miller beats Canelio to the ball. Canelio grabs him around the ankle, so it's going to be a free kick to Tuke Miller. Just adjacent to the centre circles.
Trying to get in long.
He takes off immediately. It's a kick in the Ethan Reid direction. Witts floats back. Spoiled there. Front and square was Callahan. He speculates a handball out wide. Nicely picked up by Fonte. He's tackled off the ball, though. Puts it into the path there of Thomas, who did well to tow it to himself. Gets around Fiorini beautifully. Lowers the eyes. And Bedford spoiled nicely by Hewlin. But it's going to fall into the hands of the Giants. Through Whitfield. Back into the corridor by hand to Tom Green. He spots somebody inside 50. It's Rouston again. 45 metres out. 45-degree angle to the right. And Harry Rouston, who hadn't scored a goal all year, he's already got a couple, will line up for his third on the half-time siren. The crowd is stunned here at Carrara. And the Giants slingshotting.
Just shows you how dangerous they are when they play their free-flowing game. They just move it so well.
So Harry Rouston, he'll let this one go from right on the paint of 50. The Carrara crowd giving it to him as he approaches. From right on the paint, it's a nice kick. 3 goals for Harry Rouston, and he extends the Giants' lead at half-time to 22 points. 9-8-62, plays 6-4-40 after they led by 15 at quarter-time. The Gold Coast got within 3, but the Giants now 22 points in the good.
The Gold Coast had almost all of that quarter. They had the first 3 of the first 4 goals. So goals to Long, Rowell and Ainsworth. Then O'Halloran pegged one back for the Giants. But 3 goals in the last 3 minutes of the quarter. A coach killer, Darcy Jones, then Aaron Cadman. And then after the siren, Harry Rouston for his 3rd goal to make that lead 22 points. So they extend their lead by a goal and a bit in this second term when it looked like Suns were on top for most of it. Saturday Arvo footy here on ABC Sport. Your experts are Jeff White and Jamie Stanton. How frustrating would that be for Suns fans, coaches, players, that they had 80% of that quarter and they go in with the deficit a bit worse?
I said 2 at red time would be, not 3. They just played. They were really patient, I think, the Giants. They recognised that the Suns had gone one-on-one instead of a zone behind the ball. So they were very patient, and they just wrestled with that momentum. And then the ability to just explode from the contest. Thomas on the wing. Jeez, he's been good today. Would you say he's been averaging 10?
Averages 10, he's at 14.
Oh, wow. And he's been super on the wing. He's been able to link up and get involved, and that's really complemented the Toby Bedfords and the likes, and Toby Green have been going up and linking up, and geez, they're playing good footy at the moment. I really like what Suns did in that second quarter. They really wrestled back the momentum. They really own, a big chunk of that second quarter. But geez, the Giants, that just shows you that 5% price. You've got to be in tune. You've got to stay focused. They gave up nearly a goal on quarter time, and now they've given up 3 at red time, including one on the halftime siren. So they've got to be really tuned in here, the Suns.
Well, they've still got the inside 50s, 31-14. The clearances, they're leading those. Matt Rowell, 1 clearance and 10 disposals for the first half.
And Tom Green.
Yeah, Tom Green is.
He's
had 4.
He's doing a Dunkley. Dunkley early in the year did exactly what Tom Green's doing to Rowell right now. Be able to body up on him, check him, touch and feel, but get in front. Once the ball goes in the air, when all the heads go up and watching the ball, he's just making his timing really, really important.
I've been really impressed by GWS, and Whitey sort of touched on it then, around their ability to halt momentum, read and react to what Gold Coast did to stop the original GWS momentum, and then still be able to figure out, okay, in a man-on-man situation, this is how we get our slingshot going. So we had the press-style defense. This is how we get our slingshot going. We now have man-on-man. This is how we get our slingshot going. But to do that in a half of footy is extremely impressive. It takes a lot of leadership out on the ground. It takes fantastic coaching from Monday to Friday. And it also takes fantastic execution across the board in all players. And we spoke about Harvey Thomas, but I think it's across the board with GWS's role players today are doing their role better than Gold Coast's. So yes, Matt Rowell's down a little bit, and you could probably potentially say on the other side of the board that you might say Callahan or, a Whitfield might be slightly down on their output too, that they'd normally do. But it's the role players for GWS that are stepping up, and the role players for Gold Coast that are probably getting outshone their system today, which is a really interesting fact. A lot of coaches always say, or they talk about that next soldier in, next soldier out mentality process, but it's so important that the role players do their job. And when the role players are able to do slightly more, the impact on the team is actually nearly more significant than when the stars play well.
So talk to me about the inside 50s, because it's something that Pricey's brought up. It happened in the game in Sydney as well, that Gold Coast won the inside 50s, I think by 24, and they lose the game by 7. They always, for a large part of that half, they were going to the hotspot area. They're going central. It doesn't seem to be working.
No, it's definitely not working. The scoring says that and the amount they have. But Gold Coast are a large inside 50 team, and they don't necessarily get a lot of reward for effort. They get a lot of their reward for effort from forward turnover. And when they do, it's around getting speed on the ball. At the moment, they aren't able to put any speed on the ball. Notably, John Noble is down significantly on his ability to receive the footy, especially receive the footy fast. He's having to get it from a clearance spot, not handball receives, which is not ideal. And without Daniel Rioli, Gold Coast aren't able to put any speed on the ball to get the ball inside quicker. At the moment, Ben King, which you've called multiple times, Declan, is competing 1v2, and that's because they're going so much slower with their inside 50s that they're not able to do what he's good at, which is put on the lead, compete 1v1.
When they've gone inside forward 50, it's because they've kicked down the line, then there's a stop play, whether it's a boundary throw, whether there's a ball up, and that's between the arcs, and then they go inside forward 50, but that allows for the Giants to set up behind the play. So they got the Idens, Himmelbergs, Taylor. That's why they're able to get that intercept marks. So that's where the Suns kicked that goal. I think it was from Rowell. Did Rowell kick a goal when he was on the flow? Yep. And that was because it was fast footy. That's only one. Giants have done their homework, and that's why, we were sort of looking at, where's Bedford going to go? Is he going to go to Noah Anderson? Is he going to go to Matt Rowell? No, he's going to Noble. And they've really suffocated the Suns' ability to actually have that connection off the half-back line. And I know I keep repeating myself, but I've watched the Suns a lot, and that's the strength of their play. If you can shut them down on the half-back line, which is exactly what the Giants are doing, you give yourself a great opportunity to win the ball between the arcs and then slingshot and then get the ball going back in your way. And that's, at the moment, the Giants have got the game on their terms.
Very little wiggle room for the Giants, who have come to play today. They need to win both games to keep the destiny in their hands. Gold Coast, with that extra game that they've had all year, Essendon is just sitting there as what they would hope and what most fans would hope will be a gimme win at the end of the season. But extending their lead in that second term, so 22 points the Giants are up by at half-time. They're leading here at Carrara on a beautiful day. A couple hundred kids out playing some Auskick on the field, bathed in sunshine. We're set for a belter of a second half. The Giants leading by 22. It got to within 3. We'll see where it gets to. Let's take some news and we'll return here shortly for more Saturday Arvo footy on ABC Sport.
ABC News with Satyam Weinstein. US President Donald Trump says he and Russian President Vladimir Putin didn't reach a deal on ending the war in Ukraine after their face-to-face meeting in Alaska. Mr. Putin says the pair have come to an understanding and warned Europe not to torpedo the progress. The US President, meanwhile, says there's no deal until there's a deal, and he plans to speak with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and NATO leaders to brief them on the progress. Speaking through a translator after the 2.5-hour meeting, Mr. Putin has thanked Mr. Trump for inviting him to Alaska.
It only makes sense that we've met here because our countries, though separated by the oceans, are close neighbors. So when we've met, when I came out of the plane and I've said, "Good afternoon, dear neighbor. Very good to see you in good health and to see you alive." I think that is very neighborly.
Ukraine's ambassador to Australia, Vasyl Miroshnichenko, says Russia has no intention of ending the war against his country. Mr. Miroshnichenko says even as the talks were underway, Russia continued to launch attacks on Ukraine.
Putin is just out there on his mission to revive Soviet Union, to revive the Russian Empire, and of course it cannot be revived without Ukraine. Just overnight, as we speak, Russians have attacked many Ukrainian cities, sent many drones. So we don't really see any indication of him ending this war.
Pakistan's Prime Minister has held an emergency meeting with disaster officials as flooding leaves more than 280 people dead in India and Pakistan. The BBC's Azadeh Moshiri reports.
Pakistan is in the midst of its deadliest 24 hours this monsoon season. Helicopters are trying to reach survivors, as well as those left stranded by flooding and damaged roads. Homes have been destroyed and evacuations are ongoing. Some of the worst-hit areas include tourist attractions such as Swat, a lush green region in the western province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, as well as Pakistan-administered Gilgit-Baltistan in the north.
An earthquake has hit southeast Queensland this morning. Geoscience Australia has confirmed the tremor of magnitude 5.6 hit about 80 kilometres west of Noosa Heads just before 10 o'clock. Tremors were also felt in Brisbane. Geoscience Australia seismologist Michelle Salmon says aftershocks should be expected.
Queensland is probably our least seismically active state, but this event is actually the biggest event in Queensland since 2016. It is the largest onshore event actually for 50 years.
In New South Wales, the Supreme Court has dismissed an appeal brought by an activist against a transgender soccer player. Tony Ibrahim reports.
Transgender woman Stephanie Blanche has been playing soccer for 25 years, most recently for Wingham Warriors in a small town on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. She was ultimately granted an apprehended personal violence order against Kira Lee Smith, a spokesperson for the anti-trans group Binary. A judge found several of Miss Smith's online posts amounted to a sustained campaign of belittling, harassment and intimidation. Miss Smith appealed the decision, and on Friday the Supreme Court upheld the APVO, finding no jurisdictional error had taken place.
This weekend is forecast to bring some of the coldest weather this winter as parts of Australia's southeast. Polar air is delivering a combination of showers, hail and snow from Tasmania to northern New South Wales. The Bureau of Meteorology's Angus Hines says it will be very wintry across many regions.
From South Australia through Victoria, Tasmania and New South Wales ACT, so it's going to be chilly, a little breezy, some showers, maybe a bit more hail and in particular some snow. Now the snow could fall to fairly low levels, especially across Tasmania, down around 400 metres.
The first hurricane of the Atlantic storm season is formed northeast of the Caribbean. Erin is forecast to bring heavy rain, flooding and landslides. Preparations are underway in Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Haiti and Bahamas, along with the US and British Virgin Islands. And former Australian Test cricket captain and coach Bob Simpson has died. He was 89 years old. He played 62 tests for Australia, scoring 10 centuries, and is one of only 7 Australians to make a triple century with 311 against England in 1964. As coach of the Australian team, Simpson oversaw 4 consecutive Ashes series in the 1980s and 90s. You're up to date with the latest from ABC News.
On the ABC Listen app, stream a wide range of free audiobooks, like from Leanne Moriarty, James Patterson, Tim Winton, and Kate Morton. No catch, just press play. Find free audiobooks on the ABC Listen app.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Witts just shaved his hand, picked up by King to Holman, by hand to Long. Under pressure, Long snaps and Long goals. The Carrara crowd applaud that one. Witts got it down, stolen by O'Halloran onto the left foot from the paint of 50 to the goal line. In fact, it's over the goal line. Oh, he got some weight on that, did O'Halloran, and gets another goal for the Giants. By hand to Miller. Miller to Ethan Reid. The youngster can't quite control it. Gathers, tackled off it by Fonte. He got it to Long. Long to Rowell. Rowell from 40. Rowell goals. Best passage of play all day for the Suns. Ben Ainsworth from just inside the paint. He leans back on it. It's straight enough though. Suns get their 6th. It's with Lockie Ash just forward to the centre circles. Kicks it inside 50. Toby Green spoiled. Darcy Jones-Robes. Oh, scintillating pace. Drills it through for a goal. So Harry Rouston. The Carrara crowd giving it to him as he approaches. From right on the paint. It's a nice kick. 3 goals for Harry Rouston, and he extends the Giants' lead at half-time to 22 points.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport. You couldn't draw it up any better here on the Gold Coast. 23 degrees. Maybe a couple of clouds in sight, but we are having fun here, and the Giants are on top at halftime. 62 plays 40. The lead got as slim as 3 points after Ainsworth goal, but it's back out at 22. This is the 21st edition of the Expansion Cup. Harry Rouston, as I mentioned, turned 21 during the week. He's got 3 goals. Jamie Stanton and Jeff White, do you remember your 21sts? Can you remember anything momentous about your 21st birthday?
Yeah, I just finished playing against Hawthorn at Waverley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you allowed to go out and enjoy?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, it was good. That night we had a good win, so it was a good win. It was the game when Wizard kicked that goal from the half-back line. Ended up doing a torp.
Okay.
Game. Yeah, it was goal of the year, I think it was.
Yeah.
Not being goal of the year, but yeah, that was my 21st. Jamie?
My 21st was very uneventful. I would have been in pre-season for one of the early seasons of AFLW. I'm a late baby, late in the year baby, and we used to play in January. So
it was like a November-ish, was it?
Yeah, I'm an early November. Okay. So yeah, we would have been in pre-season, and as pick 128 or 7 or whatever the hell I am, there's no way in hell I had the chance to sink any extra. I had to head down and grind out those first couple of years in my career. So, very uneventful.
So is he 21 today?
Rouston, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday.
Right, okay.
His 21st birthday, yeah.
Wow.
For my 21st, afterwards, the taxi company barred our house for the next 2 years. One of my friends was not very friendly and did some things. So, look, it's looking that way at the moment that potentially the headaches will come the way of the Suns. Pricey, what did you think of Brisbane last night? The other team in this patch that have locked in a final spot. They're sitting second on the ladder, and they demolished Fremantle.
Well, to go over to Perth and do that to Freo. Now, Freo, they've been just going, but they've got a monster forward line. I suppose for Brisbane fans, they'd be saying, where is this back at the Gabba? Because they've had this incredible run. When they go away, they are playing outstanding football. They've done it to Geelong at the Cattery. They've done it to Collingwood at the MCG. Now, Freo in Perth, their best is the best in the comp. But can they supply their best when the whips are cracking? What do you reckon, Whitey?
Yeah, look at the game last night. It was that just broke them apart in the first half, and they were able to sustain that for 4 quarters. I just like the way they actually make the moves. I think we're talking about that off air. Like Zach Bailey goes through the midfield, and their depth is just so elite. It really, is it Ainsworth went? Is that right? Pricey Ainsworth went down, and then they get Darcy Wilmot stepped up. Gardner played really well last night. Harris Andrews was fantastic. And if you're playing to those hands, and if you have pressure, they've shown when they have pressure through those arcs, the delivery inside forward 50 for the opposition is really high and very it's almost at the goals, and that's what plays in the hands of Brisbane. But
how about the inclusions though? Ryan Lester and Brandon Starcevic.
Yeah.
Immediately, that's starch in the trousers down the back line.
That's right, and it just locks it up, doesn't it? It really provides that predictability for each other as well. But one of the things that you got to have when in sides is if you have a lot of injuries, it provides unpredictability. You don't know what that plays. You don't know, even though you've got trust in that person. When you get out in the game and you cross that white line, you don't know what is going to unfold, how they react, which way they're going to go. Do they normally go to their left? Do they normally go to their right? Where you bring in those types of players, it's predictable. You know what you expect. You know what you know what their leading patterns are. You know that they're going to be there and provide that support. And they were outstanding last night.
And the loss of Lachie Neale, how beautifully did they cover that? As you said, with Bailey running through the middle a bit more, a few more minutes, Tommy Stanton for Cam Rayner and the likes.
I thought it was a really interesting replacement too for Lachie Neale. Like, Lachie Neale doesn't have that burst of speed that Zach Bailey does, but it's allowed, I guess, Fags to play around with the magnets, and which is so important leading into their finals campaign, right? Like, they might get some injuries through their important parts. I thought McCluggage and Ashcroft did what they did, and then it allowed Bailey to have a bit of free-flowing and allowed to do what he wanted to. It nearly felt. It was like he was given the licence, a bit like old Dusty Martin style. You just play forward half footy and utilise your strengths, which was really interesting, and cements probably their top 4 spot now with that win.
Yeah, so they're into second with that 57-point win. They have the Hawks next weekend, and it sets up a brilliant last round. That'll be a Sunday that will be unmissable. The Suns here, well, they are 6th. The Giants will leapfrog them with a win. They lead by 22 points. Both the subs still unchanged, so Jacob Ware for the Giants and Alex Sexton for the Suns. Just quickly before the bounce of the ball, Whitey, what do Suns have to do to get on top and win this game?
They need to play on fast. They did that a little bit in that second quarter. They played on fast. Get some run from behind. Honour those runs. Try and dissect and not allow the Giants to set up behind the ball.
Saturday Arvo footy here on ABC Sport. 22 points the lead for the away team. Giants leading the Suns. Here's Michael Price.
Umpire Hayden Meyer. It's a low bounce. Witts gets there first, though. Off his hands to Rowell. Rowell to Touk Miller. Just tripped as he went through traffic. He'll receive the free kick in front of the centre circle. So can't get that explosive getaway, but they did win the clearance and the free kick. Now Miller flares to the right of the mark. Straight down the middle towards the top of the square. Taylor double fists it forward. Anderson got involved. Gathered, kicked it forward, but it's going to be cut off again. Well done by Fonte, who went back with the flight and takes the mark.
Just Sam Taylor. It just feels like every possession, his life depends on it. I just love his desperate nature.
Fonte, the West Australian, fans out towards the wing, but Collins takes the intercept mark. So Suns have the chance to go back inside 50. Where does Collins deliver the ball? It's into the pocket. 1-on-1. Spoil comes to Farah. His handball misses Anderson and Miller. So Green was there to mop up for the Giants. Anderson attaches himself to Green and will have a ball up inside 50. Attacking end for the Suns. No score yet. 22 the lead for the Giants. This is the final shape of this game. Giants have everything to play for. Maybe a bit more room for the Suns for error. But they'll want to win this game. Comes out of the back of the contest. Will Powell from 50 has a shot at goal and pulls it out of bounds on the full. So no change to the score. We've played 90 seconds in the third.
So the crowd a little subdued to start this third quarter as the Giants bring it back out. Taylor just short of centre wing. Oh, Witts. That's a really good mark against Kieran Briggs.
There's 2 intercept marks now for the Suns. The Giants won't be happy with that.
So just forward of centre wing on the outer side, then Narang River side. He goes back to the logo to find Will Powell. Powell's gesturing to find the corridor, but no movement for him there. Now there is a little bit. It's with Jeffrey, just behind the centre circles. He's got some room. He has a bounce. Saunters to the right. Kicks it inside 50. It was spoiled away there from Farrett. Ground level. Well done to Long. Long toes it off the deck towards the goal square. King picks it up. Tackled off it. Goes back and has another crack. Handball to his neighbourino in Flanders, who's squashed. The ball goes over the boundary line in the right forward pocket. We'll get a throw in just where the shade is starting to come over Carrara on this beautiful day.
I saw what you did there with Flanders, Pricey. Good work.
Thank you.
So the Suns aren't able to get marks inside 50. Can they get a stoppage goal to kick off the third term? Witts towards Weller. Brown gave him an inch, tackled him. Ball came loose to Angwin. His handball misses the target. Umpire will say, let's throw it in. Just outside the 50.
Just underneath that small scoreboard that's reading 22-point margin to the Giants. They've been able to counter everything the Gold Coast have thrown at them so far. Throw in across the arc, off hands to Weller. Weller handball to Anderson. He skies a ball over the boundary line in the forward pocket. It's going to be coming straight back. It's out of bounds on the full. It's going to be Connor Iden in the left back pocket. In front of those Gold Coast fans, he's going to bring it back. Boy, it's a congested game. Every player on the park is in front of the centre circles. He flares it to the right to find Lockie Ash. And 50 as Connor Butterick just tiptoed across the mark. So it will be Lockie Ash going straight up the middle of the ground.
So they've been on the defensive this first 3 minutes, the Giants, and for the first time they head forward of halfway in this quarter. It's with Toby Green. Push came from Brown on Aliir, didn't matter. Will Powell was there for the intercept mark inside 50. To Andrew. McAndrew marks still inside the defensive portion. Risky kick. Didn't get the distance to Anderson, and Finn Callaghan. That was an easy glide in front. Intercept mark. Giants have it, middle of Carrara.
Too easy for a player of his quality. And boy, is he quality. He goes to the left of the mark. It's a long one inside 50. McAndrew makes up for that errant kick. Takes a ripper of a mark in front of the pack.
That's a great mark. And that's what with Collins there allows him to do that, to come off and take those marks. They need more of that.
Nobody standing the mark. He flares it out to right half back onto the arc of 50. Finds Joel Jeffrey. There's not a lot of movement for him in front, and the Giants are set up beautifully, so he's going to have to go long down the line. Just beyond centre wing, it'll be Witts the target. Farah floats in front of the pack. It's going to be a whistle on play. It'll go to Farah, who was nudged out. Just forward of centre wing. And once again, the Giants flood back, so they can't just ping off here, Farah. He looks backwards, the 45 backwards to McAndrew. He's looking into the corridor, aggressive kick, and puts Oscar Adams under a little bit of pressure from Cadman, but he still takes the mark. But once again, he's got the entire Giants team in front of him.
So they switch play, but not with much speed. So it eventually makes its way over to the wing, a one-on-one contest, and a good spoil from Ralston, who's got 3 goals to his name and might have a hand in another. Chips to Cadman. He looks inside the centre square. Riccardi marks just on the edge, 60 metres out. Suns flood back. It's a low kick. How is he on his own? Ralston marks, and Anderson looks around to spray a few teammates.
I just love his connectivity. He was the one that won that loose ball, then able to float through, but he didn't go over passing lane. So what I mean by that, he didn't stand behind the guy on the mark. He just stood off to a little bit of a 45-degree angle to allow himself, and he was inside forward 50 all by himself.
Harry Ralston started that chain of play with a spoil. He then kept his feet. He kept moving. Takes the mark inside 50. He's kicked 3 goals already from just inside the paint. He gives it everything he has, and I tell you what, whatever he has today is as good as anyone on the park. 4 goals for Harry Ralston. What a day he is having in Giants colours, and they get the first of the third term. 10-8-68 to 6-4-40. Giants extend their lead. We've played 6.5 minutes in the third term. Your experts here on ABC Sport, Jamie Stanton and Jeff White.
But you can see that basically what's happening right now is when the Giants win the ball, they've got urgency to give the hands or play on quickly. Suns, when they get the ball, it's slow, it's stop-start. There's no one running from behind. They're not honouring their hand pass from behind. What happens when you don't honour the hand pass from behind? You stop running because you know the players are not giving it. It's totally opposite at the moment, and the Giants are owning this game.
Ralston's kicked 1 goal in his career.
He's got 4 today. That's amazing. Happy 21st, Harry. It comes off the hands of the ruckman. The Giants doing it well here at Carrara. They'll favour this one as well. Lockie Ash at the back of the stoppage, flicks it forward. Tom Green winning the battle against Rowell. Gets the commentary wing, kicks it inside 50. Good contest, Toby Green. Brings it to ground. Collins flicks it to his right. McAndrew attacks it and then threw it out. Just Fedicum threw it out. It was picked up by Weller, not spotted by the umpire. He put it in front of Butterick, who did well against Fonte. Still towing it off the deck. Gets in front of Darcy Jones, no mean feat. The left foot inside 50, going back with the flight, Himmelberg. And picked up after he touched it into the path was Connor Iden. He flares it out to the right. Ralston, the double grabber. Umpire doesn't pay it. It's going to be tackled there. Holman let it loose. Ralston chases it across the boundary line. It's going to be a throw-in between wing and left half forward for the Suns. They desperately in need of answer here as the Giants lead by 28 points.
Geez, Iden's complimented Sam Taylor down back today. It's been really outstanding.
One of their unheralded back six heroes, Connor Iden. The Giants are on top, strangling the Suns right now and breaking free when they get the chance, like they do here. Cornelio, hands to O'Halloran, to Jones, who has a bounce. He might kick for home. Well, it's off the instep, and McAndrew is first to react. And he goes up the middle. Flanders marks inside the centre square. Defensive side. Suns have the footy. Where to next?
Well, Jeff White was just gesturing to say, get a move on, son, but he just chips it and he held on. They're very conservative today, the Suns, as Hewlin got it and then put it forward of centre wing to Will Powell. Once again, the Giants flood back in numbers. Powell puts it to the right forward pocket. The big fly came there from Ethan Reid. Got a hand to it. Rove by Long. He kicked it back inboard. Reid, handball back to Butterick. He hit the fat side of the ball as he tried to get it on the outside of the shoe. Goes to the opposite pocket. Taken there by Holman over the boundary line. He had Angwin for company. The umpire's going to throw it in about 40 metres off, and it looks like somebody's got a blood rule, and I bet you that's Nick Holman.
Yeah.
He's got. If I was going to put my mortgage on it, it would be Nick Holman coming off with the blood rule. He always does.
Yeah, right eyebrow, blood coming down.
That's what I'm saying. About half back line there. Flanders gets the ball, and Hewlin runs behind him. It doesn't give him the hands. You've got to just get the ball going. Get some movement. It creates movement up ahead, and it doesn't allow for the Giants to actually set up behind the ball. They've just got no urgency to actually reward that run from behind at the moment, the Suns.
So a bit of a break in play as Holman makes his way off. Fiorini comes on for the blood rule. We're inside the Suns, attacking 50. They haven't scored yet, but again, they've got the most of the inside 50s in this third term. Can they find something here? Witts to Rowell. That's a good combo. Then to Anderson. That is their combo. The shot on goal is hooked. They get their first of the third term. It's just a minor. 27 the lead to the Giants. We've played 10 minutes into the third term here on Saturday afternoon at Carrara.
So Lockie Ash just ambles out of the goal square. Gets it to Iden. Just uncontested footy. He strolls across the arc of 50. Has a bounce. Ainsworth approaches him. He goes long down the line. Looking for Grishevsky. Well done by Oscar Adams. Got his hands to the ball first. Takes it over the boundary line. Just in between centre wing and right half forward for the Giants. There's a throw in on the Nerang River side. To see the flag at the northern end is blowing towards the right as we're calling it. So that's the end the Suns are kicking to in this quarter. Throw in there. Witts gets it down once again. Tom Green gets there first. His kick goes straight up and down the chimney. It's going to fall on the arc. Good contest, Grishevsky to bring the ball to ground. Then he butters up, gathers it, got a handball out. Couldn't quite get it to the advantage of his teammate, who dived on the ball, said the umpire.
I thought it would have been a free kick to start with. Well, it was stiff there, Toby Green.
Well, I reckon that's a Toby Green decision, just quietly.
Yeah, I reckon so. It was.
Lockie Weller takes it at left half back.
Well up with the footy. Out towards the Nerang River side. Big pack of players. King arrives late. Reid's there. Reid is first to get it. Toes it. Defensive side, but towards his teammate in Rowell, who's tackled. They're messing around with it. It is untidy, but they still have possession. Noble the 1-2. Then to Witts, who blind handballs it forward, and no one is there in Gold Coast colours. Leka mops up to Iden, and they have space here. The hands come to Cornelio. And instead of going through the middle, he probably could have taken it on. He wanted Bedford. Now the Suns bottled that. They had 2-1. So the Giants break free. Brown, Bedford, inside 50. Cadman runs at it. Can't pick it up at his toes. Gets a grubber on. Toby Green does, though, on his left foot. Assesses his options. It's a centering one. Darcy Jones is too small to be marking that. Fist comes from the Suns. Rowell overruns it. Powell doesn't. Hands to Anderson. His handball was risky. Flanders picked it up. It was tackled inside the centre square. Attacking side for the Giants, who still lead by 27.
Is that Sexton? Sub might be on. I think that was Secco picking up the ball.
I'll have to have a look at that one, Jamie. Haven't been marked down on Champion Data. Off hands, roved by Darcy Jones. It's smothered, though, picked up by Will Powell. Rowell gets it inside the centre circles. Ethan Reid now for the Suns. He lowers his eyes. He's got Long on the lead. At the point of the centre square, right half forward, Long. He lowers his eyes. Ben King on the lead. They've been looking for that all day, the Suns fans. Takes it 40 metres out, 45-degree angle to the right.
I was going to say they might have done the sub with Holman.
I think they have.
Oh, but Holman's, he's just had his head strapped.
Okay.
And he's about to come on.
Well, we'll have a look at it. It's in the meantime, Ben
Oscar Adams it is,
King.
guys.
Oscar Adams. Okay, so it's just come up on Champion Data. Oscar Adams has been substituted out of the game for Alex Sexton. But Ben King, from just inside the paint, strikes it with aplomb. That is magnificent. And the Gold Coast get back within 21 points. 10-8-68 to 7-5-47. 14 minutes gone, third term, ABC Sport on a Saturday afternoon.
Ben King is a lead-up key forward. He's not your stand, hold, take contested mark key forward. So they need to have speed on the ball. That was an example of Gold Coast putting some speed on the ball after a back half turnover. And they did it through not just necessarily handball receives, but kicking the ball quickly forward. Face up, kick to the next person that's free. Face up, kick to the next person that's free. And what that does, it allows them to identify the grass space to the left or the right of that one-on-one contest that they can take advantage of and put the ball into. So hopefully Gold Coast can continue to do that to get this to be a closer game, to improve the quality of the performance from both teams.
You can see why the Suns have made the Oscar Adams is down back. They're so small, the Giants. They're up forward.
Ball slammed into the middle of Carrara, and it'll be Finn Callahan who gets the clearance. Left foot inside 50. Catman rises high. Doesn't grab it. Crumbing was Jones. Taps it forward. Brilliant vision. Handballed it inboard to Gruszewski. 10 metres out. Changes angles and goals. The immediate bounce back goal. It was Jones, Cadman and Gruszewski. Their young forwards all combining. And just when the Suns think they might have a bit of a run, the Giants say, nah, 11-8-74 to 7-5-47.
It's just once again out of the centre. If it's not Tom Green, it's Callahan. Left foot out of the centre.
So Green 5 and Callahan 4 clearances.
Yeah.
Spot on.
I love the goal umpires just like, nope, that went across the goal line. No score review.
Yep.
We've got the 30 seconds. I really appreciate that. But Darcy Jones, again, just showing how important his speed is. Joel Jeffrey just slightly ball-watched. Darcy rolled towards the outside, so the blind side of Jeffrey, and then got in behind him really impressively.
As you said before, the kid with the lid, he's got the absolute pace, and well, Jeffrey's no slouch in that department, but lagging behind as the Giants win yet another clearance, and on cue, Darcy Jones in front of Jeffrey takes the mark just forward of the centre wing here. He kicks it inside 50. Well-weighted kick in favour of Riccardi. Good contest at the back of the pack. Sam Collins just propelled it forward. It was dived on. He wants a free kick, Collins. And
so many times when the Giants have won, they've exited out that wing that Suns player is just being dictated to by the Giants player to just hold, not come in. They've got to change that.
He throws it up from 45 out. Bedford went for the rove, but it's a chop of the arms in the ruck contest. It's going to go against Ethan Reid to Jake Riccardi. He's kicked 2 behinds today. He'll have a shot, and we'll have to go from just inside 50. It's a slight angle to the left.
This is really good coaching from Adam Kingsley. Allow space on that exit area out of the centre bounce, so don't let the wing come in. Just pull him back and allow that channel, that freedom to come out.
So Riccardi can put the Frighteners here into the Gold Coast. He launches it. That's a beautiful kick. Oh, the Giants, they're pinning them back here at Carrara. They're now to a 33-point lead, game high, 12-8-80 to 7-5-47 after 18 minutes third quarter.
Like Whitey's saying with their ability to move the ball to the wing here, I really like what they do post that too, Whitey, like where they're moving the ball from there. Like, it's not necessarily coming out with elite speed. It's not a handball receive off the halfback, but it's quick movement. They're not allowing Gold Coast to sag back, which GWS are doing on the other end. So their ability to move the ball quick but not rushed is really important at the moment to the way that they're playing.
Little midfield meeting for the Suns there, trying to work out how they can get this centre clearance. 33 points, game high lead to the Giants right now. And this is the game on the line for the home team. Witts and Riccardi lock horns, the taller Witts, the tap down to Miller. And Canelio didn't give him an inch. In the other game, Carlton leading Port Adelaide by 38 points. 65 plays 27. We're still in the centre square here. Another good tap from Witts to Anderson, who just spills it. Green is there. Another clearance for Tom Green. Mac Andrew with the spoil did well. It's inside 50 for the Giants. The pacey duo go at it. Jones and Butterick. Jones is the winner. Handball back to Angwin, who kicks it to the hot spot. Noble sat under it. He got a bit nervous that someone was coming. No one arrived. He still dropped the mark. Davies picked it up. Tackled, holding the ball. And the crowd tell you what they think of it.
Unfortunately, that is the new interpretation. He put the arm out to fend off, potentially also bracing for contact, could argue both, and umpire's always going to call it.
Toby Bedford. Everyone thinks he's a tagger, but when he goes forward, it's what he arrived at the club as a small, pacey forward with pressure. He is kicking goals at the back end of this season. He's got one today. Round the corner, make it two. New game high lead. 39 points the Giants are up by. 13-8-86 to 7-5-47. Jeff White and Jamie Stanton, this is almost getting to game over stage.
Well, look what Brisbane did last night. Away, backs against the wall. The Giants, wow, they've come to play.
It's also becoming a blueprint type game too for others to play against Gold Coast leading into finals, which is not ideal for the Suns.
That's what they've negated their movement, and it's one-on-one behind the ball. I love that the Giants from the opening intercept mark where I think Powell got it, they went to a one-on-one and he had to kick it down the line.
So the biggest possession winners for the Gold Coast in this quarter, all in the defence, Powell, Andrew and Weller, while Darcy Jones, Lockie Ash also in defence there for the Giants, but Darcy Jones up forward with 6 possessions already in this term. Gold Coast will get the clearance at the back of the pack though. It's going to be picked up there by Bodie Hewland. He's tackled immediately. Umpire will come in and ball it up. It's just to forward of the centre circles to the direction the Giants are kicking to, which is the northern end, the scoreboard end, the left as we're looking at it, slapped back towards that direction. And once again, Gold Coast player held up their tackling.
Their tackling pressure's been unreal. Yep, you were just going to say it, Pricey.
So 46 tackles to 27 and you're leading the game by 5 goals. Not bad.
Another inside 50 here for the Giants. Can they make them pay and extend it to a 40-plus lead? They do get the clearance. Callahan, Canelio. Callahan gets it again. Back to Ash. They're going backwards, but Ash throws it high. It would take some marking. Riccardi spoiled. Numbers with the Suns. It's in the danger zone, though. Good tackle pressure. Cadman picks it up. He's tackled. Ball comes loose. Collins with the kick and hope. And, well, it works out. Took Miller takes the mark outside 50 and goes quick. He does try and play that fearless footy that they talk about, but Aaliyah, the intercept mark inside the centre square.
He juggled it beautifully, did Aaliyah. And once again, they just ping off with the handball. It comes through Himmelberg, goes to Briggs, back there to Callahan in the middle of the field. He kicks it inside 50. That one didn't advantage Tom Green. Went over his head, Joel Jeffrey. He wants to go very quickly down the corridor. Flanders gets to the circles. Kicks it in the direction of Farah. Farah from the rear was well confronted there by Whitfield, who put him off completely. The ball went over the top. Himmelberg lowers his eyes, gets to the wing. Bodie Hewland. As Bedford complains about the push out, Bodie Hewland flares the ball back into the corridor. This is better aggression from the Suns to Sexton. Sexton to the left forward pocket, looking for his teammate, and found it's going to be a Mark Endor free kick to Ben Ainsworth against Lockie Ash. He's going to have a go at it, and he'll probably kick it from just inside 50, 4 to 5 degree angle to the left. Boy, to say they need this one's an understatement.
Very much so. I also love Lockie Ash on the mark. He put his arms out, gestured, being like, what the? And then went, yep, you're right, sorry, I can't do that. The descent rule is still in play as much as we think it isn't. It's just an interesting part of our game, isn't it?
Well, that's probably indicative of the discipline that the Giants have showed all day today. They're doing it easy. Ben Ainsworth from just inside 50. That's a high ball. It's going to be a little bit right. No, it just pops in, and boy, I reckon they let one in there, the Giants. That could have been squashed on the line, but they didn't read it well. It's gone through for a goal, and there's a sniff of hope for the Gold Coast as they reduce that lead back to 33 points. 13-8-86 to 8-5-53. 24 gone, third term.
Every time that the Giants have scored a few and then Suns have scored a goal, it's been a quick reply every time from the Giants. So this is where the Suns have got to knuckle down. They've got to get this. They've got to get some presence out of this centre bounce.
Or at least force a repeat stoppage, Whitey. They haven't done a lot of that today. They've allowed them just to waltz on out, and especially out this commentary wing. So it'll be interesting to see whether they go with a man-on-man style or if they try one of their trick moves.
A win today for the Giants would take them to 5th. For the Suns, they would rocket up the ladder to 3rd, but it is a long way away right now. 33 points. They've got probably 5 to 10 minutes this quarter. They would want another couple of goals, and it might start here in the middle with Witts. Pushing off Green was Rowell. Green gets the footy for the Giants. Another clearance. Kicks it high and long, and Hewland was the only one who went up for it on the edge of his D50. He marks for the Suns and stops another entry. Sexton is the option just inside the centre square. Short kick finds him. He turns and goes. Another short entry. Powell marks. And he's still defensive side of the square. There's 34 players in front of him, so he can't find a pocket of space. Kicks long to a one-on-one. It's Ash and Flanders. Went over the top of them. Ben Long arrived, but he was tackled, and again the ball came loose. The Giants will run away with it. No, they'll turn it over. O'Halloran missed it. Sexton grabbed it, but was tackled. So a ball up, point of the centre square. Attacking side for the Suns. They trail by 33. We've played 25 minutes.
Umpire throws it up. Plenty of players around this ball. Witts down to Miller. Miller by hand to Rowell. Rowell flicks it forward. Anderson inside 50 to Sexton. A noted goal kicker, Alex Sexton. Not on this occasion. Pushes it out to the right. One behind. 86 to 54. 32 points is the margin in favour of the Giants.
Lockie Ash with the footy in his hand. I said this was a finals shaper. This was a genuine chance for the Gold Coast Suns to not only make finals, but potentially hit a top 4 spot. And it's looking like it won't happen. Giants on top in just about every area except inside 50. Suns not making them pay. Giants exit D50. Iden with a long one down the line towards Cadman. Collins do battle one-on-one. Collins dropped into the back. That was clumsy and unnecessary. A free kick to Cadman. 80 out. Wheels around on his left. He played on. Anderson was right there. Smothered it. Second time lucky. Wow. Cadman off the ground. Kicked it inside 50. And Toby Green rose. A one-on-one specky just inside. Used Hewland as a ladder. A Toby Green highlight for you.
There's a similar to Isaac Heaney from last week, but that was a bit of a poster. That was certainly a post. That was a great grab. Jeez, he got it elevated.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Side of the knee to the head of Bodie Hewland, like, wow.
But the way to react too, because that was kicked off the ground, so quick reaction there.
Toby Green, a high flyer, will kick from the logo. Tight angle right on 50. He's watching it. He's trying to bend it home, and he does, and he fists the air. A big mark and a big goal. 38 points they lead by, and just when the Suns get one, the Giants say, we've got a bit of ammo in the tank still. So the second goal for Green, 14-8-92 to 8-6-54, 27.5 minutes into the third term. A highlight moment, Jeff White.
I tip my hat to Iden and Callum Brown at the half-back line there. They both got involved, brought the ball to ground, able to get it forward, and that's how they were able to then free kick to Cadman, but good smarts there from Toby Green just to react with the quickest, and what a finish. That's a great kick.
That's why he's one of the marquee players in the comp.
Yeah.
Look, he plays on the edge. A lot of people would prefer he didn't. I'm just a massive fan.
Oh, he's worth the price of admission, isn't he?
Yep.
Him alone.
Enjoying this one. Probably not as... Well, probably a little bit more than some of the Gold Coast fans are enjoying this one at the moment, but...
6-6-6 against the Giants just then.
So a little warning.
Warning.
Comes from the umpire. Jared Witts back into the middle against Kieran Briggs. Witts has had the complete domination of the taps, 32-17 at the moment, as the umpire will recall this one and throw it up.
So Witts has gone to a traditional stand, and he's going to hit this over to Noah Anderson.
He gets it in that direction. Yeah. Anderson got there in front of Cornelio, but Cornelio worried him off. It enter Rowell. Handball off to the left of Davies. Held on to it too long. Smothered by Harvey Thomas. He lowers the eyes and hits a beautiful pass. Gets to Cadman. Outside 50. He puts it inside 50. It bounces towards the pocket. Kept in by the Giants. It bounces in favour there of Will Powell. Tackled into the ground by Toby Green. Over the boundary line, or will the umpire throw it up or throw it in? Looks like he might ball it up right on the boundary line, about 35 from the Giants' goal. They're in attack again and leading this one by heaps at the moment.
38 points the margin. They could probably kill it off with another goal. Touch number 19 for Harvey Thomas goes back to Whitfield, who kicks inside 50. A pack arrive as Ralston was waiting, so he gets crunched. It falls to Tom Green. Shot on goal is hooked. Minor score. 93 plays 54. ABC Sports, Saturday afternoon footy. Here's Michael Price.
So brought back in very quickly by Noble. To Noah Anderson hasn't stopped trying at left half back. He kicks it to the wing. Holman had two players to deal with. Coming through, Angwin puts it back into the middle to Callaghan. Callaghan across the centre circles. It bounces in front of Briggs. Big man tackled by Ainsworth, but still gets a handball away. Cornelio back to Ash. Ash inside 50, and that's a nice mark on the lead from Grzewski. Pushed in the back there, could have got 50 from McAndrew, but
very close.
Umpire, well, he gave McAndrew the benefit of the doubt there, Whitey, I reckon.
They've just won the contested footy, they've won the uncontested footy, and it looks like Finn Callahan's coming off. Hoping that's cramp.
Well, just a little bit of a limp on the left leg there, so he's primo cattle, you don't need that, but he's struggling off as Grzewski. Now, he's kicked one goal, it was a beauty. He lines up, he's off the long run. He'll kick this from just outside the arc. Leans into it. That's a nice kick. That is a beauty. They're doing nothing wrong today, the Giants. They're showing up the home side here at Carrara. 15-9-99 to 8-6-54. 45 points the margin in the Expansion Cup.
Yeah, hoping that's cramp for Finn Callaghan, because he's been outstanding this game. But they're just carving him up. Their leading patterns. What I've been really impressed with, though, Pricey, is their ability to win the contest. Bring the ball to ground, be clean. Once again, they won the contest on the wing there, gave it to Lockie Whitfield, who then kicked it into Finn Callaghan, which I reckon that's cramp because he just had a dinky little kick. It didn't show like it was running or anything like that, so hopefully that's a positive there. But, yeah, then just be able to find it inside forward 50. Great finish.
Could be Sharon poisoning too. He's had 22.
Saturday Arvo footy at ABC Sport at Carrara, and the home team get the clearance. Rowell dishes off to Anderson. Two of the best clearance players in the comp. Long entry. Iden again gets rid of his man, gets the fist. Suns at the fall of the footy. Davies is one of them, but Ash picks it up first, so applies the tackle. Whitfield's kick outside 50 is a hit and hope. Darcy Jones is there. Zippy grabs it, looks inboard, and O'Halloran will mark on the point of the centre square defensive side, and he will slow it down as time ticks down at three-quarter time. He looks to his right, and Sam Taylor grabs the mark. What a quarter from the GWS Giants. 6 goals to 2. The lead at quarter time was 15. At halftime it was 22. They doubled it and some. 45 points they lead by right now in the Expansion Cup. And the Suns might still make finals, but at the moment they're looking like a team exposed. Giants 15-9-99 to 8-6-54. Wow. It is all ahead of the Suns in this fourth quarter. It would take a miracle. We'll see if we get that. Saturday Arvo footy here on ABC Sport. The fourth quarter up soon.
Great conversations don't move in a straight line.
This is really uncomfortable to talk about.
It's like something out of a movie. Terrible and magical.
The Conversations 20th Anniversary Collection.
You wouldn't cry.
Hear it now on the ABC Listen app.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Harry Ralston, he's kicked 3 goals already from just inside the paint. He gives it everything he has, and I tell you what, whatever he has today is as good as anyone on the park. 4 goals for Harry Ralston.
But Ben King, from just inside the paint, strikes it with aplomb. That is magnificent.
Cadman rises high, doesn't grab it. Crumming was Jones, taps it forward. Brilliant vision, handballed it inboard to Gruszewski. 10 metres out, changes angles, and goals. The immediate bounce-back goal.
So Riccardi can put the Frighteners here into the Gold Coast. He launches it. That's a beautiful kick.
Toby Bedford, he is kicking goals at the back end of this season. He's got 1 today. Round the corner, make it 2. New game-high lead. 39 points the Giants are up by. Anderson was right there, smothered it. Second time lucky. Wow. Toby Green rose. A one-on-one specky just inside. Toby Green, a high flyer, will kick from the logo. Tight angle right on 50. He's watching it. He's trying to bend it home, and he does, and he fists the air.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
We thought this one would go down to the wire, but at the moment the GWS Giants are well and truly on top of the Suns here. They've flown up to Sunshine State, and they are going to take the chocolates if it keeps like this. They lead by 45 points. As I said, 6 goals to 2 in that quarter. Ralston got 1. Green and Gruszewski got their second. Riccardi and Bedford as well. Bedford with his second. And Ainsworth and King, the only 2 goal kickers for the Suns. Oh, they'll be taking a deep breath. There was another player-only meeting out there, and the coaches for the Suns are going at them. Saturday Arvo footy here on ABC Sport. Your experts are Jeff White and Jamie Stanton. What did you make of that third quarter? And tell us, what can the Suns do to try and rescue this game?
I don't know why I'm saying this, but I reckon he's been out-coached today, Dimmer. Kingsley has just been so solid in structure, and the one-on-one behind the ball, I reckon, has startled the Suns. They haven't been able to get their free-flowing game going. So if I was Dimmer, I'd be going to three-quarter time and going, let's play on every opportunity. They have not honoured anyone running from behind. Perfect example was that quarter there. Flanders had the ball. Bodie Ulan was behind. Bodie Ulan uses the ball so well. That's why he's been in the back line. That's why he's played every game. Give him the ball. Get some flow. On the flip side, the Giants have done that on a number of occasions. But most importantly, the Giants have won the contest. They've brought the ball to ground. They've been clean below their knees, and then they've had some support around them to give the hands, and then able to dissect and move the ball really quickly. The Suns haven't been able to, had any chance to set up behind the ball. We said it from the outset. They look ready to go. This is a finals game for them. They've been talking about it all week, and they're delivering, aren't they, Jamie?
They've been very, very impressive, and it's probably the first time that I've seen the Giants live, and their ability to move the ball all components of the ground has been really impressive. They do that via foot or via hand, and the speed in which they do that, it's not erratic. I haven't watched the game today and been like, oh, that's a dangerous kick or that's a dangerous handball or why'd they do that. It's been very calculated and measured, but with frenetic pace, which has been really impressive to watch. In regards to Gold Coast, it's a really stand-up, come of the moment, come of the man type quarter right now. I think it's really important that they show the competition that they can and should be a player in this final series. Otherwise, teams will just take advantage of what they've seen today. So, you know, it may not mean much in terms of the win-loss column, but this last quarter is really important for what their finals landscape looks like.
Dimmer was very, very animated. That's all I'll say at three-quarter time.
You were watching through the binoculars as well.
Wow.
The veins were just popping up David Parkin style just a little bit, and why wouldn't they? Plus 35 in disposals, the Giants, 51-30 in the tackles. Suns are still 42-39 as far as the inside 50s go. Clearances are the same, contested possessions plus 12 to the Giants, but individually there's 12 players under 10 disposals for the Gold Coast. There's only 6 for the Giants. They're owning the ball. Callahan's the top possession getter for GWS, 22 plus 7 clearances and 4 of those centre bounce. Whitfield on 20, Lockie Ash on 20 with Tom Green as well, who's had a cracker, 11 of those contested and 5 clearances. Noah Anderson tops the charts for the Gold Coast with 22. Will Powell and Rowell both on 18. Rowell down on his output as far as clearances go. I reckon in that little match-up against Tom Green's got the chocolate so far.
Keep an eye on Finn Callahan as well.
He's out there.
He's out there in the centre. Yeah, well,
definitely a cramp there.
Cramp stays away. So at the moment, the Giants are humbling the Suns. A quarter of pride. Maybe that's all for the Suns. Let's see what they can do on their home deck. Witts down to Anderson, but the tackle pressure has not let off.
There hasn't been any clear clearances from the Suns today. Once they get it, they just get tackled straight away, once again.
Witts to Miller. He was tackled, so the handball was messy. Anderson ended up mopping it up. Gave it back to Miller. Lowers the eyes. It misses King and Taylor. Ash is there. Kick across his 50. Dangerous. Went past Angwin. Weller's there, who'll arrive. Once again, hot footy to be won. Angwin leaps on him, brings him to ground, and there will be a ball up just beyond right half forward for the Suns.
Once again, that tackle, it just stuck. And they're just doing it well.
Like Velcro.
Absolutely. Briggs gets it down to Callahan. Callahan wobbles one towards the boundary line. It was outside of the right shoe, and it was a skill error, but it's going to be penalised regardless. And so insufficient intent to keep the ball in. McAndrew has the ball. He's called to play on. Nobody's standing the mark. He ambles along, kicks it towards the arc of 50. Reading it best was Taylor. Chop of the arms and
forward contact.
Yeah, just before he even got to the ball, they panicked, and Sam Taylor, as he does, will repel that attack and bring it across goal. He gives it to Fonte.
And he was the one leading King to the ball there, Taylor. Communication down for these inside 50s. Fonte looks left, ends up coming right. Collins arrives with 2 fists in the air and sends it into row C. That was 20 metres inside the boundary line, but Collins gave it everything he had. Ball in. Attacking half for the Suns. 45 is the margin. Hasn't changed since the start of the fourth. Briggs and Witts do battle. Briggs hasn't won many taps cleanly, but they're still getting the clearances.
But he's competed, and that's where it's made it hard for Witts, because he's technically hitting to 6 midfielders.
Briggs does tap it straight down to ground, but Anderson is there. Runs one way, just hits the reverse button and goes back into the contest. Gave it to Rowell. He runs wide. Inside 50 again. King out of position. Taylor's there, gets a push, so Ash comes and helps him. Back to Fonte, who panicked a little bit. Giants give it up. Suns can't make them pay. Ainsworth from 20 metres out with no pressure on him on his left foot. Skews it into the goalpost. 99-55.
I reckon you gave us the clue there, Whitey, when you mentioned that the Giants player helped his teammate out. That's what they've been doing all day, the backup.
Yeah.
It's just been sensational. So it's with Whitfield from the goal square. Good lead.
This guy's been great today.
Yeah, Iden has been fantastic. Sorry, Brown as well. But Iden, long kick towards Toby Green. Spoiled by Powell. Angwin was front and square. Under pressure from Holman. He got his left boot to it. Bounces well for Riccardi. Well gathered in. Handball backwards to Toby Green. His left foot inside 50 was errant. Cut off there by Collins. Aggressive kick to the arc to find his skipper, Noah Anderson.
Who goes down the middle, so they want to play fearless. Over the top of King again. They miss their main man, and Lecalier read it for the Giants, so they will repel. Callaghan handballs to Briggs, who has Harvey Thomas on the logo. On the broadcast wing, he goes wide to Rouston, who marks it an inch inside the paint. Harry Rouston, what a day for him. 4 goals for the 21-year-old. He'd kicked 1 goal in his whole career. He has the footy 80 metres out. They may as well go long because they got a 45-point lead and everything's going their way today. The bounce the ball does there, but wrestling the footy off Cadman was Collins. Kicks it towards Miller. Ash missed the mark. Miller grabs it to Anderson. Run down tackle. Anderson gets it free and the Suns might be away.
So it was towed forward, Lockie Weller, but once again the Giants have got numbers. Fonte gives it off to Callaghan. He puts it just forward to centre wing. Ash had time to muck it up and then pick it up and gets around Holman. Long one inside 50. Toby Green in the wrestle cleverly slaps it back into the corridor. Harvey Thomas advantaged by that, but he's got Sam Collins all over him. Umpire says we'll ball it up. We'll throw it up about 30 metres out from the Giants' goal. They're doing it well here at Carrara in the sunshine.
99 plays 55. 20 metres out from the Giants' goal. No one was anywhere near Witt, so he grabbed it out of the ruck, but his disposal only went as far as Angwin, who thumps it forward. Yulin tries to kick it, but it's smothered, so we'll have another ball in. Left forward pocket. Giants attacking end. They lead by 45 at the moment. In the other game, Carlton smashing Port Adelaide. They also lead by 40 plus. It's 55.
Wow.
2 big games, 2 big margins. Suns defensive end. They have numbers. It's with Fiorini. Dishes off to Weller. Long as he can. Ben Long arrives to the front. Miller to King. He's about 100 from goal. That is not where you want Ben King, and his kick towards Ainsworth went straight to Whitfield. We got an umpire slipped over.
Yep, bounced straight back up as Callaghan just does what he wants. He's just absolutely having a field day. Gets it to Cornelio. Cornelio flares it out to Harvey Thomas, who's had a brilliant day himself. He's right against the boundary line next to the interchange gates on this commentary wing, or just forward of the wing. He gestures for a lead coming at him. Ends up bombing it to the right forward pocket. Collins fists it forward. It was roved by Powell, immediately claimed and thrown to the ground by Cadman. Ball stuck underneath in front of the small scoreboard, which sees the Coast trailing by 44 points.
We're in the shade of the grandstand here. Witts taps it over the back, but it went to Riccardi. His kick smothered. Rowell on crumbs duty. Kick outside 50 is straight to Himmelberg, but King did well. He arrived really late, but he effected the spoil without giving the free kick away. So the footy's up for grabs, but once again, Giants just seem hungrier. Bedford couldn't pick it up. It goes over the boundary line, but he had the best chance of it.
Once again, just that spare behind the ball. Just, you can see it. The Giants just having the numerical advantage every time the Gold Coast get out of that clearance situation. The throw in, very short one. Witts and Briggs battle to get there. Came off the hands and Tuke Miller overran it. Towed forward by Briggs, picked up by Tom Green, who's had a cracker. He curls one around the corner towards Cadman, spoiled by Collins over the boundary line to get a throw in. About 30 metres out, right forward pocket for the Giants. They're in attack yet again.
They just wanted the ball, even just in that situation there. There's a one-on-one and Tom Green just used his body so well, got the ball inside forward 50.
Witts and Briggs attach themselves to each other. Briggs gives him a late shove. Witts was able to tap it down then towards Rowell, who fumbles it under pressure from O'Halloran. Jones was there as well. Now, it went over the boundary line. Was it out in the full? The umpires are going to have a little chit-chat, which usually means they'll play it safe and ball it in, but we'll have a look. Yeah, the crowd will tell the story. The Giants will benefit of the doubt. Another ball in inside the attacking arc.
Just where the shade of the stand, crawling across this Carrara oval. Throw in, right forward pocket. Rove there by the Giants. Toby Green gets a handball forward to Tom Green. He's monstered by 3 of them. Still gets a handball away. Rouston, who's had a cracker today, with a career-high 4 goals. He'd only scored 1 in his whole career before today. He's tackled into the ground. Once again, the umpire will throw it up. Right forward pocket for the Giants, very congested forward 50. Bedford can't pick it up. It bounces off his shin. Witts' handball, cut off by Tom Green, back to Bedford. Now Halloran from 45. Hooks a right footer around the corner. Boy, he gave it a fair whirl. Just cracks inside off the... No, it was off the behind post in the left forward pocket. So it's going to be a Gold Coast free kick in their right back pocket. They're trailing by 44, need to get a wriggle on, to say the least.
The Giants pretty happy to shut this game down. There's been 8 minutes of play. We haven't seen more than a point scored, making sure the Suns don't get a run on. McAndrew flies. Sam Taylor underneath him. Didn't mark it. Giants with the numbers on defensive side. Ash, quick hands to Green, then wide to Briggs. He'll go by foot. Inside 50. Can they get a mark from Brown? Fresh off 5 goals. He spills it, but he stays on his feet. Taps it defensive side. Bedford and Andrew go at it. Bedford tapped it one way, then the other. Himmelberg was there. Gave it to a teammate under serious pressure. It was Anderson who applied the tackle for the Suns on Xavier O'Halloran. 51 metres out from the Giants' goal. They still lead by 44 points. Saturday Arvo Footy, ABC Sport.
Umpire throws it up, just belted forward by Briggs, inside forward 50 for the Giants. Oh, Powell's handball cut off by Toby Green, and then he dropped it. He was flying into the right forward pocket, and the crowd give it to him too, because he made an unusual skill error over the boundary line for another throw-in the very same spot.
Riveting footy this, Pricey.
Well, they've put the cue in the rack a little bit,
to.
The Giants. They know they've got this huge lead, but they're plus 40 in possessions now. They're holding onto the ball. The throw-in. Off hands, Lockie Ash tracks it towards the boundary line. Under pressure, it's a long one to the top of the square. McAndrew with the big one-handed fly, drags it down through hands. He'll get it back. Now we handball it off to Powell, who's tried hard all day, chips it towards Anderson. Speaking of try hard all day, he can hold his head up high, the skipper. Goes across the arc, has a bounce, handball to Tuke Miller. He evades the tackle, cops one high. They play advantage. He chips it into the centre. Lockie Weller knocked over by Brown as he marked it. Crowd wanted 50, but nothing happening. He lowers the eyes and sees Ben King on the lead. He takes it 45 out directly in front.
The only time they've really played on, the Suns, and look what the result was. They had no time for the Giants to set back up, but even though they haven't put any scoreboard pressure on them in this last quarter from the Giants, their pressure around the contest has been outstanding. Even just in that passage there, when it was inside their forward 50, they held it in there for a good 5 minutes.
Ben King, only the 5 touches today and the 1 goal. He'll kick this one from 45, directly in front. Once again, he strikes it beautifully. He's a magnificent shot for goal. 2 goals to him, 59 goals, 17 for the year at a rate of about 78% accuracy. Is probably the positive for Ben King, but the Suns, they're still trailing by 38 points here at Carrara. 99 plays 61, 15-9 to 9-7.
He's just been starved of that supply, hasn't he, Pricey? You know, that's 2 goals he scored. It's been really good leads, but it's been fast play through the midfield.
Sorry.
No, you're right.
Wouldn't Denver be frustrated though? Like you're talking about it before, the first time they play on, they actually look and play their prettiest brand of footy. Like he'd just be pulling his hair out. Or is it the definition of insanity where you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result? It's Gold Coast today. They've just played long and slow and a bit boring, and they've expected to compete against a team that's high flying.
Yeah, and that's not. It's full credit to the Giants. The structure they've set up, the way they've won the ball around the contest.
Witts and Briggs tangle again. Witts the tackle down to Rowell. Free kick was awarded, but Rowell just extends the legs. Those little legs pump inside 50. Can they get another goal? 2 in a row. Flanders grabs it on his right.
Out in the full.
And he's pulled it all the way across the face and hit the left behind post. 99 to 61 the score remains.
So 38 points the margin. The Giants will bring it back in. It's with Himmelberg in the right back pocket. He goes to the left back pocket to find Iden. Outside the arc to Harvey Thomas. Or hits an aggressive kick to find Callaghan. Barely the 15, but the man standing the mark is Ethan Reid. He goes further left to Iden. Iden now So they're just sharing the ball. He's got Riccardi led all the way shorter centre wing. He goes backwards on the 45 to Iden. The Gold Coast are set up nicely in front, but Giants retaining the ball and doing it effortlessly as Ash receives it in the left back pocket. They've retreated all the way back there, and now he wants to play on to the right of the mark.
So he sprints away towards the commentary side. Has Himmelberg and Taylor, who both fly. Bit of talk there, and one would have taken an uncontested mark. Taylor goes and grabs the contested footy. Himmelberg applies a tackle as Taylor's hands missed. Looked high?
It was high, but the umpires are both in the sun, so they couldn't see.
All right, so a let-off for the Giants as if they need it. They're up by 38 points right now. Witts and Riccardi do battle. Riccardi was late there, so it was an easy tap for Witts. Bit of volleyball, and then it comes down to Rowell. His kick is towards the arc. Flanders was first there. Noble in his eye line, so he hands it off to him, and inside 50 finds Reid. Marks in front of Lecalier. He'll have to kick it from beyond 50, though, if he wants a goal. So a couple of leads come. Long was one of them. Weller's in the pocket as well, but nothing that Reid thought was worth it. Giants have done it today as well without Jesse Hogan, without Jake Stringer, Jack Buckley, Josh Kelly, Brent Daniels. There's 5 A-graders that are not in their team, and they have trounced the home team. Ethan Reid, 49 metres out. It's going to get the distance. It's just whether it sneaks in. Yes, it does. So they've got 2 goals in this fourth quarter, the only 2, and both of them going to the Suns, and that is the second goal for Ethan Reid.
Is that the second time they've gone back-to-back in this game?
They've done it 3 times.
3 times, right. Yeah,
15-9-99 to 10-7-67, ABC Sport.
And kicked it in a bit of space. Just sent it out there, put it in the space where to put the forward into, and good finish from Ethan Reid. I don't think he had that in him, but it was a great finish from outside 50.
Especially late in the game too, Whitey. Like, that's an impressive shot at goal, but what, they've only got to do 4 more back-to-backs?
Yeah, 6 more goals would get him the lead.
So, look, it's not probably going to end up happening, but like I spoke about at the start of this quarter, it's really important to see what they do in this last 10 or so minutes. They need to start putting some fear back into the competition, especially here at home.
32 points the margin. Off the hands of the ruckman, and this time it's Callaghan with another clearance. Skews off the right-hand side of his boot. Off hands, rove by Anderson, the Sun skipper. He flares back into the corridor, but it's going to be against Davies here, I reckon, with the shepherd.
Yeah,
it is.
Shepherd too high.
It was a good, strong shepherd. The crowd don't like it, but he belted Angwin across the melon. You can't do that. And just to the right of the centre circles.
He's not rubbing his face for no reason.
Exactly right. Angwin will get the free kick.
There's just a halt of their momentum going forward then, didn't it?
It certainly did. It stopped it dead as Angwin, it's a long left footer to the top of the square. Off hands. It was Bedford approaching, but it was well done by Fiorini, who gave it back to the run of Buderick. He kicks it towards centre wing. King did beautifully against Taylor, but then couldn't clunk the mark after the body work. It went off both hands, and right in front of the ABC Sport commentary box, we'll get a throw in.
Hasn't this game reminded everyone of how good Sam Taylor is? The 2022 All-Australian, maybe another jacket this year. He has smothered Max King for a lot of the day. They've teamed up on Reid at times. Suns will go forward. Witts down to Miller. Farrell was there. Lecalier was holding his arm, and the umpire sees it. And the Carrara crowd let out a late but great cheer. It's not going to help them in terms of the result. You wouldn't think percentage will play a huge role, but I guess if the Suns, who are sitting at about 125, maybe gets them up to the home final territory if they can finish 5th or 6th. They're 6th at the moment. They'll be 7th, though, at the very worst at the end of this round, at very best at the end of this round. Jai Farah, footy in hand, has the free kick. He'll kick from the 45-degree angle from 49 metres, nowhere near it. That's short and right. Big fist through. It'll go into the left goal post. Another behind. 99 plays 68. ABC Sport. Your experts are Jeff White and Jamie Stanton.
Just Iden then again. He's been great down back.
There've been plenty of contributors in their defensive line, the Giants. They've owned that. Whitfield now just held up proceedings until he could figure out which way he was going to go, which was straight up the middle and onto the very straight and long lead by Toby Green. Once again,
on the barrel.
He's got, well, that's a ripping torp, in fact, that's gone up the left half forward. Grusevski took a nice mark. Good hands, lowers the eyes. Cadman on the lead, hits his chest, and Cadman will have a shot from 50 directly in front. That was too easy.
Oh, that was so well set up. So what they did is they had outlets, but they went right out to the wing. So they needed to, the Suns needed to honour that. But what it did, it separated the corridor, allowed that Toby Green to come through the middle. Their setup was really, and they had it on both sides of their point kick in then.
Just opening up space. Aaron Cadman with the 1 goal today, the number 1 draft pick from 2022. Quality player, launches an absolute spear from 55. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And the Giants extend their lead. They're doing it on the bet here today at Carrara. 16-9, 105 to 10-8, 68. And that takes them out to another 37-point lead.
He doesn't have to worry about the flag, does he?
No. Who cares about the flag when you're this far in front, Whitey?
But he's left
Except for that premiership one you're eyeing off.
He's left foot. Oh, well. And that movement, that set up there, the point kick in, how they just spread the defence. And you have to honour that. Sides are so good with their foot skills these days, Jamie, but they just honoured it. The Suns had to honour it, and they just spread them really well and allowed Toby Green to come through the middle. It's just well set up, structured.
So the lead is 37 points for the Giants. This game is over, but once again, we talk about pride and talk about taking something into these next couple of games for the Suns. It's Miller, handballs to Rowell. He's tackled, gets rid of it, and they turn it over. Whitfield was there to mop it up. Looks wide, and Gruzevski marks. 2 goals to his name. He'll be happy. He's kicked multiples now on 3 occasions in his limited AFL career. Marks in front of Andrews, still 2 and a bit kicks from home. So it's a short one to O'Halloran, who cops one across the head late. Umpire is fine with it. Still 80 metres from the Giants' goal, but they are happy to just take any sting out of the game. Deep entry. Few fly. Whistle goes before. Toby Green puts up his hand and says, "Can I have it?" He says, "No, it'll be Sam Collins." Free kick to the Suns.
Well, you got to ask the question, Toby says. Flares it out to the right. Bodie Hewlin takes it for the Gold Coast in the right back pocket. Gets to right half back. It's with Braden Fiorini. He's just looks exasperated as to which way to go. Has to go long down the line, just beyond centre wing. Callaghan. The quality just takes a beautiful mark against Touk Miller. Just read it best, but the extended arms. What an athlete.
Touch 29 for Finn.
Just chips it forward to centre wing and finds Briggs, who takes a mark in front.
He's moved well too, Briggs. He's identified that Witts has gone behind the ball, which he is now, and he's been used through the midfield.
Briggs puts his hoof into it. Witts is down there, spills over the back. Green lurking. Handballs to Callum Brown, who's a metre out from goal, but 2 or 3 Suns descend on him. Weller and Hewland were there to make sure no goal, not even a point.
That was a forward handball if I've ever seen it. Handball to the feet so I can get it back and kick the goal myself.
Ball up, 1 metre out from the Giants' goal. Witts can't handball it, can't tap it through. Green has a shot on goal. It goes across the face. McAndrew picks it up. He's tackled into the behind post by Gruzevski. Umpire will now ball it up.
They kept the ball in play.
Yeah, kept it in play.
Didn't drag him over.
He had the pressure. He could have easily sent it through. Ball up. Next to the right behind post. Witts down to Cornelio. Handball's defensive side. Green is there. He's tackled by Rowell. So another ball up, just 9 metres out from the Giants' goal. We've played 22 minutes in the final term. Giants up by 37.
Umpire throws it up. Cadman against Witts. Cadman got it down. Cornelio tapped it in the path of Bedford, cut off by Noble. He fires a handball off forward, and Rouston takes it over the boundary line in front of a very subdued Gold Coast members' side.
It's actually smart play there by the Giants. They didn't allow Suns to concede a point, so they get the ball back. So really smart how they're able to keep it in play, keep it in their forward half.
That's how ruthless they've been today. Throw in, off hands, Angwin goes backwards, outside defensive 50. He gives it back onto the sub who's been activated in Weir. Weir kicks it just to the edge. Ralston again off his hands. It was through the Suns' hands. Mac Andrew, he kicks it again to a 2-on-1. Ben Long did beautifully against both Iden and Fonte. Iden got the ball though in the end, gave it to Whitfield, who again gave it to Fonte. He runs over the logo out of side, chips it to half forward, overcooks the kick. Cadman had to reach out for it at the back. Collins gave it to Powell by hand. He gets through some traffic, puts it forward to Flanders.
And to Noah Anderson down the centre square line. Kick to Farah was intercepted, tapped down, but they get it back, the Suns. Flanders held on for way too long. Fonte, the footsteps came, and holding the ball.
Just indicative of the pressure, wasn't it?
Yep. Harvey Thomas, this will be touch number 23. Most disposals he's got in Giants colours. He's had a ball out on that Nerang River wing. He looks inboard and Bedford marks on the logo. Runs inside the centre square. Delivers. Mac Andrew was first there. Didn't mark. Oh, so clever from Green. Tapped it over the top to Jones, but he was being manned. So the Suns should work it out here.
Well, it's Hewland under pressure, gave it forward to Butterick. He's tackled by Darcy Jones, the handball affected. It went back to Noble. He's tackled by Ralston. Still got a handball away, barely. It gets to the arc. Tom Green with absolute strength over to Briggs. Briggs just overcooked his handball return. Was missed by Miller. Picked up by Tom Green. Handball, Darcy Jones from the arc of 50. He missed Bedford around his ankles, so the opposite number 14, Weller, gets it for the Suns. Gave it to Noble. He chips it to centre half back to Sexton. Sexton to Miller. Where's this been all day? Miller straight down the guts to Anderson. Anderson lowers the eyes, hits long. Where has that been all day, Jeff White?
What did Sexton do? He gave the hand pass to someone running from behind.
And that has been the difference. That's the biggest slingshot we've seen for the Gold Coast all day. But the Giants have just not given them the room for that. Ben Long takes the mark 30 out, big angle to the right, but should not be a problem for Ben Long.
Yeah, it's also that pressure, but there has been multiple times where they've been able to have a chance, particularly early.
He's got the one goal for the day, Ben Long. He's been reasonably well held like most of the Gold Coast forward line. He pops this one through. He gets his second and reduces the lead back to 31 points. 16-9-105 the Giants to 11-8-74 the Suns. 25.5 gone final term.
And sometimes you have to force the handball receipt or the speed on the ball to actually start generating it and shift the defenders. What GWS have been able to do all day is pretty much just set up how they want to set up, sit and where they're comfortable, and then Gold Coast have played into that because they haven't tried speed on the ball like Whitey's been asking for. Where that one, yes, it was very blatantly on, give the handball receive, Sexton's facing away from goal, but it just challenges the defenders on, are they on the right side of their forward, or are they on the wrong side? Do they need to move their feet, get front, get back? And it just hasn't been there today, and I think Gold Coast needed to at some stage force some speed to try and see what it did to the defenders of GWS, which unfortunately they haven't till way too late.
It is. It's too little too late, isn't it, Whitey?
And up ahead too, if you give the hands, then you don't know, the defender doesn't know whether there's a right or left footer.
Centre of Carrara, Witts does a little dance with Briggs, who has him round his waist. He kicks it forward just a couple of metres off the deck. Big tackle pressure. O'Halloran and Rao going at it. Two Bulls lock horns. And the umpire says, when you've settled down, I'll take the ball off you, boys. Balls it up. Witts down to Rao. Free kick, Suns. They play on. Quick movement. Farah leaps and takes it. Under pressure from Alir. It's stuck to the left mid. And Jai Farah will kick for goal number 2.
He's been fantastic today at taking some contested marks, and unfortunately he's let himself down in front of goal. He's had a couple of marks at the further part, the 40 to 50 metre arc that's sort of skewed left or skewed right. Be interesting to see what his confidence is like going into this set shot.
There's a pair of cousins playing out there. One of them is Jai Farah, the other is Toby Bedford. And Bedford gets the points for Fitzroy Crossing, but Farah can get a couple for his Halls Creek. For his second goal today, he started it right off the boot. That is disappointing. 75 plays 105. Giants lead by 30, 27 and a half minutes into this final term.
So once again, Lachie Whitfield has the ball in the goal square, taking his time as well. Now he flares off to the right. He's going to come out to the commentary side. Mac Andrew battled his way to the front. Well spoiled by Grishevsky at ground level. Rowell tackled by Briggs. Let's still got the handball away to Weller. Weller's handball smothered by Grishevsky and go over the boundary line. Still a bit of instruction going on there. You love to see that. Tom Green talking to his mate there in Angwin and just saying, this is where I want you for the next effort.
They haven't stopped, have they?
No, that's
instructions have been there the whole day.
Just a professional effort from the Giants today. The throw in, Witt's got it down, but Tom Green.
And you wonder why he gets the clearance there, Pricey.
Exactly right.
Because
he's dealing out the instructions, but he's following them from his teammates as well. Over the boundary line, we'll get another throw in.
There's plenty of talk, organisation, a lot of pointing, whereas the Suns, they're sort of the players, they're in their shells. They're sort of trailing and following it, no instructions.
Briggs does get the tap this time down to O'Halloran. Miller had one arm, so the ball didn't come free. Means a free kick to the Suns. O'Halloran crudely just sits over it, so Witts has to go in and give it back to Miller. Waste no time. Entry towards King. It spills over the back. Farrell was there. Handballs it to Anderson against the boundary line. No angle to speak of, but he nearly made it work. 105 plays 76. A near highlight to end the game here. ABC Sports Saturday Footy. Giants in control as we come to the end of the clash.
So 3 goals, 4 in this final term to the Giants, to the Suns, to 1 straight goal from the Giants as Whitfield has it. Kicks it just short of centre wing out of side. Harry Rouston, who's had a blinder today, goes into the corridor. What a kick. Finds O'Halloran. They're going to go straight down the middle here. Here's another chance. Riccardi from 55 out. Got a man in front, and it's Grishevsky. Takes the mark, 30 metres out. He's on a big angle to the right, and he'll soak up the clock.
Soak up the clock. There's only 10 seconds to go. That is the Giants all day, their movement.
So Grishevsky, Max, 7 goals for his year. Before the start of this game, he's got 2 today. Can come in and ice this one at the end for the Giants. Grishevsky from 30 metres out, leans back, and it's another one. 3 goals to Max Grishevsky, and the Giants win the Expansion Cup by 35 points, 79-111 to 11-10-76. Their finals hopes are alive and well.
From the west of the town, it's the sound of the mighty Giants. Feel the ground is shaking, the other teams are quaking in their boots before the Giants. We take the longest strides and the highest leap. We're stronger than the rest. We're the greater Western Sydney Giants. We're the biggest and the best, and we will never surrender. We'll fight until the end. We're greater than the rest.
The decade of dominance continues for GWS, who have won 15 of their last 16 against the Suns. And victory today means they keep their finals destiny in their hands. As you said, Michael Price, if they win next week against St Kilda, they are in. For the Suns, they have 2 games left. Maybe they've been exposed today. Some flaws in their game. They are down by 35 points.
Well, there's a big, big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty Giants. Feel the ground is shaking. The other teams are quaking in their boots before the Giants. Take the longest strides and the highest leap. We're stronger than the rest. We're the greater Western Sydney Giants. We're the biggest and the best, and we will never surrender. We'll fight until the end. We're greater than the rest.
It's a dominant day for GWS, who led literally from start to finish. They kicked the first goal through Stephen Cornelio. It got to 3 points at a moment in the second term, but from then they held the Suns at bay. They outscored them in 3 out of the 4 quarters and runaway winners by 35 points. They had the game iced at 3-quarter time, leading by 45. Let's run you through the goal kickers. What a day for Harry Ralston. He turned 21 this week and he gets 4 goals. His most ever coming into today was a solitary goal. In fact, that's all he got for his entire career. Well, he gets 4 today. Gruszewski takes his chance as well. Another multiple goal game for him. 3 goals. Bedford gets 2, Cadman 2, and Toby Green 2. Riccardi, Cornelio, O'Halloran, Darcy Jones, all singles for the Giants. And for the Suns, multiple goals for Reid, King, Long, and Ainsworth. They all have 2. Farah, Rowell, Butterick with singles. It's a big result, 17-9, 111 to 11-10, 76. As we said at the start of the game, it was a final shaper. The Giants move up to 5th on the ladder, and they play so well at home at the Sydney Showground. They're so accurate. They win so many games there that if they can jag a home final in that bottom half of the 8, it'll be massive for them. For the Suns, they are 7th, still with that extra game in hand. So their next 2 games are Port Adelaide. They'll play them next Friday in Adelaide, and then they have that quick turnaround against Essendon. So still finals a very real possibility, but they would have wanted to showcase their best here today, and they haven't done it on a bright sunny day in the Gold Coast. The Giants, the team that showed up, and they were the ones with more to play for. And that's what it looked like as well. Jeff White and Jamie Stanton, our 2 experts. Let's wrap it up. What did you make of that performance from the Giants and the Suns?
Oh, the Giants are just outclassed. They coached really, really well today from the outset. We spoke about it a number of times throughout the 4 quarters. The one-on-one behind the ball. And I love that you brought up, Jamie, the role players. That was a really, really valuable point. The players that played well today were not, Callaghan was great, Tom Green was great, Toby Green was in spurts and a great hanger. Iden was outstanding down back, but they're role players on the outside. Krzyzewski, how many did he kick? Kicked 3. And then you had the 21st birthday party this week. He's kicked 4, and then Thomas on the wing. He had 20-odd possessions or whatever. So the role players just stood up. That showed the depth of the Giants today, but they play. Geez, they're dangerous. They're such a good side, and they really showed up today. And a la what Brisbane did to Fremantle last night over there, they came in. They knew it was a finals game for them. They knew this was very important, and they showed up today, and they played some outstanding footy.
And Gold Coast just looked flat, ridiculously flat. Now, they haven't had Rioli for a couple of weeks now, so they've been able to put speed on the ball without his presence, and so we can't put it down to that. I don't think you can necessarily put it down to the fact that, they're moving or potentially moving into a final series. I think it's more just the fact that GWS is one of their bogey teams. They don't know how to move the ball against a team that does a similar game style back to them. Whitey and I do a few Gold Coast games and we talk about how they want to move the ball off half-back, and that's what GWS want to do too. Yet Gold Coast probably have a little bit more of a clearance dominance or a forward half presence potentially than the Giants do, where the Giants are a little bit more tsunami reliant. But the ability today of the Giants to get their tsunami going, but also limit the tsunami back, was really impressive. Their high half forwards, I thought, worked up and down the ground immensely. Bedford, Jones, I thought they're some unsung heroes too, that do the stuff that we don't necessarily talk about in game but are so integral to the way they want to move the ball. They get all the way up to the top of the D50 and then have the capacity and ability to get all the way back inside 50 and actually beat their opponent back, who they nearly give 5 to 10 metres to, in a positive sense for the defenders, but not for them. So I think Gold Coast potentially would hate to look at a finals lineup that had GWS next to their name, whether that be here at home or away, just because the game styles are slightly similar.
But Carlton is a long way in front, and in fact, it's only 4 minutes to go. They're up by 60 points against Port Adelaide. I'm just putting it out there, Pricey. It's the last game for Port Adelaide next week at home against the Suns.
For Hinkley too.
The last game for Hinckley, it's the last game for Boak.
Oh,
Now, you don't tell me they're not going to get themselves up for that.
well, you'd hope any football side would get up for a champion like Travis Boak.
Yeah, so what I'm leading to is that is not going to be a pushover for the Suns.
No.
And I know that they've got Essendon, yes, but Essendon played extremely well last night. And they're going to have nothing to lose when they come up here. If Hawthorn, and we think that, no disrespect to West Coast Eagles, Western Bulldogs going to win. As it stands at the end of this round, the Suns are going to be out of there 8.
And if they fall at this final hurdle, this could be one of the biggest stories of the year.
Yeah.
Is the fact that this team, who are pushing for their first finals appearance in their existence, could stumble at the final hurdle.
Yeah.
That will be a massive yarn.
So
and what would Damien Hardwick do about that?
I know. They just went away from their DNA today, and that was that their one wood from the half-back line. And, you know, we've seen, I know I was sort of repeating myself, but that's how they play. That's their one wood. That's how they get the slingshot footy. That's why they go inside forward 50. And it looks like, you know, that's why Kings kick so many goals this year, because he goes inside forward 50 and it's a one-on-one. They didn't have that today. They had none of that. And full credit to the Giants. They eliminated that directly straight away by playing one-on-one behind the ball. But they also won the contested ball. They won the uncontested ball. They were clean below their knees. They won the one-on-ones. It was outstanding to watch. And they came with a purpose. The purpose was, this is a finals footy for us. And we go, and credit to, it was a really interesting that they put Bedford on Noble to really just decrease that slingshot footy from Noble. You know, I don't know how many possessions he ended up having.
18.
It didn't feel like it was damaging at all.
No, not as damaging as he has been.
Has been. And Jeffrey had no impact at all coming off the half-back line. I thought Powell was okay, but he had a job to do on Toby Bedford. So sometimes you've really got to you've got to really hold back on your own game to actually be one-on-one with such a dangerous forward. But, yeah, full credit to the Giants. Well coached. Very well coached today.
I think everyone in the competition loves Bailey Humphrey. You know, he's a big miss for them up forward. What did they need from someone like Humphrey today they didn't find elsewhere?
Well, the funny part about Bailey is he goes in and does centre clearance work consistently now. He goes and nearly attends every centre bounce. And it's probably a hallmark of Gold Coast game is their centre clearance work and the way they explosively move out of centre clearance, I would say. They don't necessarily dominate them, but they're very good at getting 4 to 6, maybe even 7 a game where they are bursting straight out of the stoppage going forward, which I think Bailey does a lot of work in providing that bigger body grunt, muscling out of the way for the pathway for the explosiveness. It's not necessarily him getting the ball because Rao does that and gives it to Noah, or Noah does it and gives it to Rao, etc. But it's creating the pathway, and they had to revert back to Took being in there today, in Miller, and then a few other Davies as well, which don't, you know, when they don't do it as often anymore, they're relying on Rowell and Anderson, who Rowell, it would say himself, was probably his worst game for the season by quite some distance. So I think Bailey's really important, and what Bailey's great at is his grunt. He's a bull. I want to try and say it in a nice way, but on the field, he is an absolute competitor. He gives, like, you wouldn't want to run into him anywhere. Whether that's on the field anywhere, you wouldn't want to run into him. Like, he is someone that gives everything 100%. So I think they really missed his just that grit, determination, that you're not going to beat me, repeat stoppage stuff. I know Bailey will be super frustrated watching from the stands. He's a ripper bloke. But, they really just missed that too. He's just grunt.
I think they would have given a different look inside the centre bounce. He wouldn't have definitely made up the 5 goals because that's not taking nothing away from the Giants.
Because once they got the ball out of the clearance, so their work in the open was superb.
But the work in the open was created by that wing, and I kept on saying that. The wing held back. So when they exited out of the centre bounce, they exited that side, and it was either Tom Green or Finn Callahan. And so it was well set up. I love that coaching aspect of it. And I wonder if those Suns do get in the finals and they are to come up against the Giants. They've got to do a lot of homework to try and rectify what they went through today.
So Harvey Thomas, as Declan pointed out, is basically averaging 10 touches for the year in a game, has come out on that wing, and he's had 23 touches as well as 3 clearances. He's 6 contested possessions as well. So the youngsters were doing it on the outside, but the game high equaling 8 clearances apiece to Callaghan and Green. Of course, Anderson and Rowell had 8 apiece as well. Rowell had a quietish game, but he still racked up 8 clearances. But they weren't the quality, as Jamie pointed out, of getting the ball further out and exploding out of the stoppages. So I say well done to the Giants. They play a good quality brand of footy, as tough as nails, but when they broke it open, they just slingshot with pace.
Well, it felt like the Suns, every time they got the ball, they were suffocated with the tackle. And the tackles landed every single time. And there was no room for them to get the Suns to get their hands clear, to get the ball, then get it going. It was clamped. That was really well executed with their tackling.
Just quickly, who's on votes, by the way? We didn't... Yep, Jamie. All right, we'll get that in a second. In a couple of words, Whitey, you said you haven't seen Giants live that much. You've watched them now. You've watched them turn up and show up, the Suns. Can they win the premiership?
I think they can go a long way in September. There's no question about that. That brand of footy that they play is finals footy. That's what I was really impressed with. And they've shown that over the last couple of years when they've played finals. One in particular, what was that Collingwood game, I think, a couple of years ago, where they was to get in the grand final, and they just played so well. It was probably the best game I've seen for a long time.
And their 2 finals last year, they were leading the Swans by 27. They should have won that game, and we know what happened to the Lions. Yeah,
the brand of footy it's called chaos footy, and it's when the ball's on the ground a lot, and you've got to be super clean. 1 touch, no fumbles. That was them today. That was chaos footy. That was finals footy, and they won not only the one-on-ones, but they had support. So if there was a one-on-one, they would win that, but then they would also have the support running near them. And then that gives them the exit, gives them their outlet, and then they were able to use their hands, and their foot skills were sublime. But they really suffocated Suns with their transition footy.
Jamie Stanton, you're in charge of the votes. What do you make of it? Where are you awarding your 3, 2 and 1s this afternoon?
I think 1 goes to Noah Anderson. I think he was probably the only one that put up a fight for Gold Coast today. 2, Tom Green. I thought his ability to nullify Rowell across the game was impressive, but also then rack them up himself. And I know they ended up on the same clearances in the end, but his was significantly more impactful for his team. And then 3 was Finn Callaghan. I think he is the way GWS want to move the ball. I loved watching him today. Like, he gets all the way back into defence, pretty much the top of the square, because he knows how important his run and carry and his ability to split the game open with those multiple chains of possession. And he knows how important he is to their ball movement, and he works hard to make sure that he gets involved in them, which was really, really impressive to watch today. So, yeah, that would be my 3-2-1.
All right. That is just about it for us. Finn Callaghan, 3 votes. Tom Green, 2. Noah Anderson, 1. The bogey team for the Suns strikes again. The Giants victors by 35 points. A big thanks to you, Pricey, Jeff White, Jamie Stanton, Dan and Lucas